3 of Coffee and Co-Read, your source for all things literary with Catherine
and Kristen, where we believe there's nothing better than a hot coffee and an awesome book. Join us for our virtual book club where we take one book a month and dive into all the drama, adventure, and romance we can find. Hi, Catherine.
Hey, Kristen.
So we're doing something unprecedented this week.
Yep.
We're doing something unprecedented in that we still haven't, this is our last week of our last episode of the month. August. Yes, of August. And normally, we have September's book all lined up. We're ready to go. We've got it split up. Sometimes we've even started the notes by now.
Yeah.
And we have not. Because we can't decide on what book to do.
You didn't tell me.
I know. But in all fairness, the not deciding is pretty on brand for us. Both of us are really terrible at making decisions.
It's true. We try to go out to supper often, and it's a struggle to decide.
It is. We're like, where should we go? We just end up going back to the same places over and over again because neither of us want to make a decision on anywhere new.
And also, familiarity, and they're delicious.
Familiarity. Yes. Oh, yes, obviously. But.
Yes.
Anyway, so we've sort of narrowed it down to Guild by Raven Kennedy.
Which we've, funnily enough, spoken about
and
on the podcast before.
Right. And it's the first of the Plated Prisoner series, and it's getting a little bit, it's not a new release. It's a completed series. But it's gotten a lot of traction, it seems like. It's gotten popular recently.
Yeah, and I feel like maybe if we reread it, we'll finish the series. It's a possibility.
Yeah. So, both Catherine and I stopped, and we've talked about it before, about the same place in the
book
series.
3 or 4?
I think it must be book 3.
I stopped the beginning of a book.
Yeah, I think I stopped maybe about a quarter of the way through a book.
So we think that the book is book 3. That makes sense.
We
Gotcha.
do think the book is book 3. I believe it's either a 4 or a 5 book series.
Yeah, it's definitely, yeah. Whew, this is something we should have looked up before we got into this conversation.
Hang on.
You got this.
6.
Okay.
It's a 6 book series.
There's a possibility we stopped on book 4. The beginning of book
There
4.
Is a possibility that we did, yes. So there's Guild, Glint, Gleam, Glow, Gold, and Goldfinch.
Gold and Goldfinch?
Yes, Gold is book 5, Goldfinch is book 6.
I'm not loving the same G.
Yeah, Gold and then Goldfinch.
No, I'd sure, maybe if I read them.
Oh, but hang on. Sorry, one moment, please.
Waiting.
Oh yeah, no, 6 books. Sorry.
Okay.
I was trying to see if maybe if one of the books was a prequel or if it was a novella or what. Like
a guy's point of view or something.
Yeah, looking, because everyone seems to be doing that lately and it's actually really bothering me and I'm not here for it, but it's fine.
Yeah. Do you remember when Twilight first came out and Stephenie Meyer put,
I know exactly what you're saying.
One chapter of
Midnight Sun,
yeah, online, and I swear to fucking God, I reread that once a month for a very long time. Just on my parents' kitchen computer reading.
Yeah.
So it's Guild is one book we're looking at, and the other book we were talking about was The Songbird and the Heart of Stone, which is a Carissa Broadbent book. So we have already read 2 books by her.
Mm-hmm. The Serpent and the Wings of Night and Ashes in the Star-Crossed
King.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've done both of those on the podcast.
Yeah. So that was a duology. Now there's a duology. The second book I think came out this month, maybe last month.
Possibly.
I can't remember, but very recently. So this duology is about Misha, who is a character you meet in the first book. So this is the second one we were looking at. Also a 6-book series, but the series is like done in 3 duologies.
Yeah, it's 3 duets covering different fae, different types of fae, vampire fae.
Yeah, different kinds of species of
I don't know what to call them.
Yeah, it's a thing.
They're vampires, but they're fae. I don't know. Maybe I'm just remembering it wrong.
No, that sounds about right. So yeah, that's the second book that we're looking at. I could have just turned the book over because the name of the 2 first books are on it.
Good.
Should have done that before now. Yeah. So because we've been pretty indecisive, Kristen's going to flip a coin.
Kristen is going to flip a euro that was in my wallet for a very long time. It is.
Did you last go to Europe?
Like 15 years ago.
When did you last go to St. Pierre?
Like, probably before that.
Okay, just checking.
No, I've not been to St. Pierre in recent. I think the last time I went to St. Pierre, I was in grade 12.
Fair enough.
I tried to go, COVID year. I tried to organize a little trip with kids in the school to go. Yeah. And it was COVID year, so we had to cancel everything. And I had to organize refunds for all the parents when I technically wasn't a staff member anymore because I lost my job.
Oh, good. Great.
Yeah, it was really... I literally was just like... Eventually, at the end of it, because, like, there was a problem with one of the parents' refunds, I remember. And I remember just being like, I don't work anymore.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to go to the secretary and have her deal with it because I don't... Yeah. There's nothing I can do from here.
Yeah.
Like, I've literally... This is all I can do for you. And I'm so sorry, but, like, what do you want? Anyway. But, yeah. So... Anyway, so I found it. It's a 20 euro cents. So I don't really know what we're going to say. I guess we could say that there's one side that says 20 euro cents on it, and the other side has, like, the picture on it.
What's the picture?
It's hard to tell because I think it's like a lady in a dress.
That sounds more like Guild. A lady in a dress sounds more like Guild.
That's true, yes. So we can say the 20 cents is the Songbird in the Heart of Stone, and then we'll say Guild is the lady in the dress. So yes. The big reason why we're sort of waffling is because, and like, people will be like, why can't you just do one month and one the next month? That is highly possible and even probable, to be fair.
Yeah. Once we break up a book, we'll probably read it at some point soon. But
anyway, so we just I don't know. We're trying to inject a little fun,
a little whimsy,
a little whimsy,
a little Easter egg, if you will, for next.
Oh god. Okay. I'm gonna shake the coin up. I don't know. You probably can't hear it, but I'm shaking it up. Okay. And I'm going to throw it in the air. I can't do a traditional coin toss, so I'm just going to do it my way. Okay. So.
Okay. Did you catch it?
Of course I did. Come on. Okay, I'm going to reveal.
I thought traditional you couldn't, is what you were saying. I thought you were saying I couldn't do the traditional one.
No. I couldn't do the traditional with the thumb and you flip it up and then you catch it.
Okay.
I did a two-handed throw and a two-handed catch.
Yes.
So, looks like we are doing, drum roll, Songbird and Heart of Stone by Carissa Broadbent. It landed with the 20-cent side up.
We got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so, before we even started, before the end of the episode, you know what our book is.
Yeah. Oh, we should have left it to the end.
What would we do now, then?
Just move on to Phantasma, and then at the end we could have been like, and...
Do you want to go back and...
No, it's fine. It's too late. Everybody knows.
They don't.
No, it's fine. Okay. I'm keeping all this in.
Sorry. Fair enough. Okay, so, yeah, on that anticlimactic editorial note, just a heads up, this is not a spoiler-free zone. Things might get saucy. They do. Yeah. I forgot that they did.
I will say, this episode, it seems like people are really gonna see how the bread is made.
Of the podcast or the book?
The podcast! What other bread would I be referring to?
I was talking about if there was any sex this week, and you were like, they're gonna see how the bread is made. I was like... We're explaining sex to them? And then I think...
I mean, I did find out I teach sex ed this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That should be a full week's episode.
Yep. And it'll probably be around Christmas time. So, like, ooh. Merry Christmas! Let's talk about sex, baby.
Let's talk about you and me.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry. But we're leaving everything in this week. So this is week 5. And we're doing chapters 44 to the epilogue / the end. Last week, we had the last level before you are allowed anywhere in the house.
Yes.
Which is level 7. It was like a classic, if you both say yes, you make it out together. If one of you says no and the other one doesn't, then that one person leaves. Like, it's a whole trope.
Yeah.
Very unsurprising. Also, Cade was a dick, picked 2 instead of letting them all move forward if they just picked 1 each. Blackwell, for some reason, had to go check to figure out that he was going to do that, even though...
It's, typical of his character. We could have guessed.
Yeah, we all knew he was going to do it.
But I think the issue was figuring out, because I think there was only 2 options. I think it was either 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So I think he had to go out and check which one he had, because he knew that Ophelia would rather go up against him than go up and save Charlotte instead of fight Charlotte and have Cade automatically be safe.
Yeah. I don't know what would happen if all 3 of them...
I think if all 3 of them picked the same thing, then none of them were safe.
Okay. They would just fight.
Maybe.
Yeah, because not being safe just meant that you could fight to get out, which, like, I thought that a certain way they'd all be fucked. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Ophelia murders Cade. He deserves it. It's fine. And, like, just blasts his entire face in. And then the shadow voice is like, yeah, embrace your calling. Death and darkness. This is great.
Yikes.
And then we start this week. And Ophelia feels a weird sensation, and she realizes that she's absorbing Cade's life force. And great. She's like, interesting. Oh, and also last week...
No, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say just that last week she was like, I like the look of blood on my hands. And now she's absorbing his life force, and I'm like, are we just going to get a serial killer thing after this? Because, like, maybe. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Oh, just that, like, absorbing life force is something that, like, phantoms and ghosties do.
Yes. And also, she says, like, she gets her magic back, so I assumed that she would use her magic. soon. She doesn't really, but it's all powered back up. So a door appears and she walks through, but something feels wrong. And the dining room is full of shadows and the food is all rotted. She walks out to the corridor and it's pitch black. And a voice says, "Something wicked this way comes." And then someone appears in front of her and she asks how it got out of her head. And it says that she let it out when she gave into its desires and killed intentionally. And it's like a humanoid body, but it has no real features other than like teeth that she can see. And basically it's the shadow voice and it's outside of her head. And immediately after the conversation last week, where they were like, Leon left because his fear got him, the birds. You're immediately like, yeah, this is your fear. Like, you should realize this. You thought about this last week. You were like...
Can I be honest, though, and say that this was not at all what I was expecting? Like, when this started happening, I was like, oh, shit. But, like, I never clued in that this was her fear.
Do you mean, like, when she got back and it was dark, you didn't clue in? Or when she was like, the shadow voice is outside of my head?
Yeah. Like, initially, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I didn't realize, oh, this is her biggest fear. Like, I never thought that would be it in a million years.
No, I thought it would be...
Like, I don't know what I thought it would be, but, like, I didn't think it would be this.
Yeah.
Because she was like, oh my god, it's a fear I locked away so tight. I forgot it existed.
Yeah. Pretty obvious. This is a pretty obvious
fear. Yes. I think that was my issue with it. It was not an issue. Like, I still liked it. It's just, you know, I was like, oh, okay. Like, you know, just...
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I kind of found it a bit odd, but I'll get to it when we get a bit later, because there's just a part of it. So, yeah. The voice, or the shadow voice, says it's free to do all the horrors it dreamed, and it says that, like, it kind of steps forward, and she steps back, and then she steps forward, it steps back, and the voice says that it is her, and she is it. And their darkness is intertwined, and she wanted it out of her head, and she's like, not if it'll torture others, just like it did to her. And the voice asks if she wants it back in her head then, and she wonders if it's worth it. And then she remembers Blackwell saying that she doesn't need to fix herself, and she can get outside help. And she ends up going to the first floor, which is somewhere she, like... Oh, wait. No, I skipped a line. Sorry. Stupid. And so he said that she can get help, and she realizes he was right, and she says that she's not letting it free, but the shadow voice creature runs, and she follows it. So she ends up going to the first floor, which is somewhere that she couldn't go before the trial she just did. And she grabs a candelabra and follows, and she gets to like 3 doors. And the one on the right makes her locket pulse. And it's a room of mirrors. And her reflection in each mirror is like a tiny bit different. There's one that's screaming, one that's crying, one that's smiling. And she looks at each, and she's just like, what the fuck is going on? But she says, come out, wherever you are. And the shadow voice monster tackles her, and the candelabra like flies and lights the room on fire, but she's pinned by the shadow voice as it's kind of burning down around her. And the voice says that she has always contained her worst enemy, and she uses her magic on it. Oh, she does use her magic on it. Well, glad she took Cade's life force so she could use her magic.
Yeah, right?
For nothing.
Really helped.
Yeah. And the shadow voice's claws rip into her chest, and her skin tears open, and she can't make herself invisible, which is her go-to move when someone's attacking her. And the fire is making it hard to breathe, and she tries her magic again, but it like slashes her belly open, and she calls to Blackwell twice, and the shadow voice says he's not coming, so she keeps screaming his name, but he doesn't come. And the voice asks when she's going to realize that she can only depend on herself and Blackwell isn't her savior. But she keeps saying his name, and the shadow voice gets annoyed. And that makes her realize that Blackwell is, like, he's not always her savior, but he is a safe haven. And he makes the shadow voice quiet. And she wants him to come so that the shadow voice doesn't get away and hurt other people. And she realizes, again, like, she's allowed to get help and she isn't alone.
Mm-hmm.
And she thinks the shadow voice is actually afraid. But the shadow voice says he isn't coming and calls her a bitch. Of course.
It's the number one insult. Like, why can't we switch it up a little?
We can't. There's no other insult that's as good.
Call someone a penis.
You should.
I feel like we should trademark it.
Be good. So she says that Blackwell will always come to her because they find each other every time. And that the shadow voice can't stand that because she's no longer alone.
Can I just say that find each other every time? Very reminiscent, again, of the whole resurrection. Like, that book that I keep talking about that no one else knows about.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Or even that one, Fallen.
Yeah.
We also talked about that one.
Yeah.
Did you ever read that book, Fallen?
No.
So it's by Lauren Kate. It's actually, like, it's pretty decent for, like, you know, the YA fantasy of the time.
Yeah.
Not Netflix. Amazon Prime made it into a show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
No, I'm afraid.
That's fair. See, this is the other thing, is books also get made into shows, and we're too scared to watch them.
Yeah, I'm afraid it's gonna be bad.
Fair.
That
is a fear.
And, like, I'm also afraid that, like, it's not gonna be popular enough and they're not gonna finish it.
Yes. Which is another reason you should watch it.
Oh my
What?
God. Hang on. Huh. Okay. So, remember I told you the book was called Succubus Rising. That's not what it's called.
Okay.
Because that is a book. It's not this.
What's the book?
But it is a book. Succubus Rising is a book. But not this one.
Do you not know
I don't
which one?
remember the title. I feel like it had succubus in it somewhere.
Can you just Google Succubus Resurrection?
Oh my God.
Reincarnation, whichever one.
I was reincarnated as a cum-crazed, sexy, slutty succubus.
What?
The Chronicles of Lila Nerva Book 1. It's not that one.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's not it. Sorry. Continue. Hang on. Could it be his book? Probably not. Succubus Harem number 46? Not that.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, hang on. Oh, I think I found it.
Okay.
Hang on. Yes, I found it. Sorry. Wait. It's by Rochelle Mead.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is probably what led me to it in the first place.
Yeah.
So she wrote Vampire Academy.
Yes.
And Bloodlines. So she also wrote this, probably one of her, like, very first series, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So it's called the Georgina Kincaid series, starting with Succubus Blues, leading into Succubus on Top, then Succubus Dreams, then Succubus Heat, then Succubus Shadows, then Succubus Revealed.
How many books is that?
6.
Of course it is. Every series she writes.
Anyway, I'm really glad that we've cleared that up. It has nothing to do with anything that we're talking about this episode. But,
well,
I'm just glad...
You've talked about this book multiple times by the wrong name, so it is good that we figured out the right name. Just in case anyone's read it and they're like, that's not what I remember about Succubus Rising.
Yeah, so it's not Succubus Rising. The first book is called Succubus Blues, and it's about Georgina Kincaid. She loves her job managing a bookstore in Seattle. She's not so sure about her job as Seattle's only succubus, but she doesn't have much choice about that one since she sold her soul to hell back when she was a mortal in ancient Greece. After hundreds of years of being a succubus, Georgina started to feel guilty about stealing the life energy of good-souled men. So she's switching to stealing the less high-quality life energy of bad-souled men. Her demon boss, Jerome, is none too happy about this. Things take an even more interesting turn when famous author Seth Mortensen moves to Seattle and chooses Georgina's bookstore as his base of operations. Georgina quickly finds herself falling for him. Her first time falling for a man since World War II. Nobody seems to like the idea of Georgina dating Seth, except for Seth. But Georgina doesn't have much time to wonder why, as supernatural life carries on. Everything from an incubus plot to attempts to overthrowing her demonic boss, by another demon of course, to an escaped ancient supernatural power feeds on dreams comes Georgina's way. Georgina starts to notice that Seattle seems to be facing more than the normal level of supernatural upheaval, and she starts to wonder why. That's it.
Love it.
Anyway, I know I read it 1,000,000 years ago. However, I do highly recommend it. Yeah. Oh my god! She was the nominee. Sorry. I'll stop in a minute. She was... Rochelle Mead was nominated for this book for the 2010 Goodreads Choice Awards in Paranormal Fantasy 2010.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Oh, it was first released in 2007. Yikes.
Why is that
Show me age. Show me age a little bit.
Is it a romance book though?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like paranormal fantasy romance, yeah.
Okay. Because literally last week we were talking about how, like, that barely existed.
I know! And now we're talking... and here we've got... Yeah. She was an adult, and it is...
She was romance. An adult.
And I'm pretty sure, like, one of the first scenes of the book is her, like, having sex with someone. So, like...
Love it.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, we'll get back to Phantasma now.
Yeah, we just had to correct some incorrect things.
So, yeah. If you've heard me talking about any of the succubus stuff in anything, it's Succubus Blues by Rochelle Mead.
Love Rochelle Mead.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Sorry, continue.
The shadow voice gets ready to attack Ophelia again, and she whispers Blackwell's voice once more, and everything goes black. And she wakes up, and she's in the mirror room, but they're all normal mirrors, and it's not on fire, and Blackwell is there, and he just, like, hugs her to him. And he says that he thought he lost her, and she asks what happened, and he says that she clawed herself to pieces, and he had to heal her, and there was so much blood, it was terrifying. So she actually clawed the shit out of her chest and stomach.
Yeah, so essentially the shadow voice was not a physical manifestation, did not get loose, was not taunting her the entire time, was not being a dick the entire time. She was envisioning all of that and cutting herself.
So she tells him that it was the shadow voice, and he asks what fear she gave, and if it was about the voice. And she starts to cry, and she says that her biggest fear is accidentally harming herself because of the voice. And I was like, I thought her biggest fear was the voice getting out and terrorizing people.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be
self-harm.
About harming herself, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like she literally every night worries about everybody in her life dying. So it just surprises me.
I agree. I think
this is
that
her biggest fear.
Her biggest fear would more likely be the shadow voice hurting her mom or her sister.
Yeah. Did you just hear my cat?
Very
Okay. Cute. That's fun. He's having a struggle lately, to be honest. He wants to go outside so bad all the time, so bad. Anyway, she says that she didn't mean to do it, but it all felt so real, and he says that Phantasma is throwing everything it's got at the contestants now because they've almost made it, and he says that he's got her. And she says she wasn't sure he was going to come. Sorry, the cat's scratching at the door.
Oh, I'm like, I didn't see why this part was funny, but like, I was here for it.
It's not. Yeah. So he tells her then that like her injuries and her hurting herself also weakened the bond, but he felt her calling, and he's never had that kind of connection with contestant before, and nothing will stop him from getting to her, and that'll stay true forever. And he'll tear the universe apart at its seams if he must. And she knows that that's true, and I'm like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? And one day you're never gonna see each other again. Like, what are you just gonna join Phantasma every time it moves around so you can be together? Like, what the fuck?
I mean, not a terrible idea if he's gonna keep her safe all the time.
Now that I came up with it, I'm like, she knows the trials.
She knows all the trials are the same every time. He can dispel the haunts. Like, not a terrible idea.
Well, she can turn invisible, so nothing matters. Like, what's it gonna do to her?
True story.
It's actually a great idea.
She should have just done this. Why are they worried?
Yeah. Who needs a home when you can just join Phantasma every few days? So yeah. He asks her then to stay the night, and she says that she knew he'd beg first. And he says that he'd stay on his knees all night. And she says to take her back to her room and help her forget. So they get back to her room, and she tells him to get rid of her dress, so he snaps, and it's gone, and he groans at her body because she's so hot. But I'm also like, wouldn't her entire dress be torn apart if she had clawed herself up?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Did he maybe, like, magic her a new one like he did the first time?
He probably
After they had sex and he went...
This is so bad. Do you think he changed anything, like gave her a boob lift or anything when he fixed up? She had clawed her chest up and her stomach up. Was he like, I'll just make this a bit more to my liking? Not actually, obviously.
I can't imagine he would do that. He loves her just the way she is.
Yeah, well, and people change as time goes on too, so it's a whole thing. They've been together for what, 7 days? Is it even that long? So yeah, they get back to her room. She tells him to beg, so he kneels down and he puts her leg around his shoulders, and he pleads to taste her, and she asks if that's all, and he says not even close. He wants to devour her pussy and drink every drop.
Oh my god.
And then fuck her so deeply that they won't know where he ends and she begins.
Sure. Sounds great.
I'm like, this girl was basically a virgin a week ago. Like, maybe let's give her a second.
Yeah, no, but she jumps right in. She's all for it.
She is, yeah.
She's here for it.
She's so turned on by this, and he can tell.
I'm more like, dude, she literally just was confronted with her worst fear, and you had to heal her. I'm like, she just woke up. Can you give her a few minutes, please? Get a meal into her, maybe. Like, we already know she doesn't eat enough.
Yeah.
But, like, no, they're like, okay, right to you're in a bed? Sex.
Yeah.
Right.
She was like, make me forget. But, yeah, it is. Not only that, she just killed a man.
Yeah. But he did say, he's like, you only come to me after something traumatic has happened. And I'm like, here we go again.
100%. And he does not care. He's like, thank you for letting me come into your room and come into your body. Like.
But also, can I just add into this that, like, She was really broken up when she killed Bo. Inadvertently. That wasn't even on purpose. Or Eric, or whatever his name was.
Yeah, I think it was Eric.
One of Cade's buddies. Yeah. Like, he got spliced open by, like, a swinging pendulum blade thing.
Yeah.
That wasn't even directly her. She just ducked out of the way while one was coming, and he did not, and he died. And she was like, oh my god, I killed somebody! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! And now here she actually did kill someone, and she's like, oh well.
But last week she was like, I don't care, I love the blood on my hands.
And then
like,
she,
okay, girl.
like, she literally, like, killed someone, freaked out about it, then had sex with blood raining down all over them. It's like, actually, I don't think I hate this anymore.
I actually think I love blood. So yeah, back to the sexy times. She's turned on, and he knows it, so he tells her to be a good girl, and to say that she wants it, so she does. So he eats her out, and she comes immediately. Like, absolutely immediately. And then he keeps going, but she's like, no, it's too much. So he transports them, but then he just, like, keeps eating her out, and she comes again. And then he moves up her body, and he's kissing and biting her, but she likes the pain. And she just, like, breaks the buttons off his shirt. Which is a classic move, but I'm like, who's sewing these buttons back on?
But also, can I just say, has anyone ever actually tried to do that? Because that is really hard to do. It's not just some move, like, that you can do easily. Like, oh, I'll just do this. Hi-ya! Like, you need a ton of strength. They sew buttons on hard now.
Yeah, but back in the day.
I guess, but, like, it's still something that happens here. And, like, I'm sorry, legit, ripping panties off of an individual hurts.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's painful. Like, it's
not...
It's fat. It doesn't just shred away at a slight tug.
No, unless you got a knife.
Not wrong.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, in all these sex scenes, the guy is like, I can't wait, I must have you. And he just rips the panties off her body. Yeah. Like, panties don't rip that.
Oh no, my favorite panties!
And it's like, she's like, she didn't comment that, like, maybe that had to, like...
Bitch, ow, that dug in.
Yes!
Yeah, agreed.
Just saying.
So yeah. So she breaks the buttons off of his shirt, rips it apart, and then she tells him to take off his own pants. And he disappears them, because that's easy. And it's like, you just ruined his shirt for nothing. So she tells him to fuck her, and he says that her wish is his command, and they banter a bit, but obviously they just start fucking. And he says that he never wants anyone else to touch her like this, and he'll make her forget anyone who ever did, and he'll make her forget her own name.
Oh my God.
And there will just be them and this.
Yikes. I mean, like,
and
there's more. I hope they have a plan.
Right? Like, is this not declaring love? Like, what the fuck is this?
I will always find you. No one will ever make you feel the way I do. I never want to move from you. I never want to, like, leave being inside you. You're not in love? In lust?
In the darkness and loneliness, she's his light, and his soul will go to his grave with her name.
He says that out loud?
Yep.
Yikes.
Because we're not in his head. What is he even thinking if not... Ugh. Anyway. Wild.
Yikes.
And then they both come. And then he transports her on top of him, and he's still hard, because of course he is. Phantoms, am I right? And she just bounces on him, and she asks him to go harder, and says that there's nowhere she'd rather be. And then she hears her sister say her name.
Oh, I hate it.
And I'm like, oh yeah, her sister's here. I actually didn't. I thought the big twist was going to be her sister wasn't even here the whole time.
I know. It
Which
really set us up for that, I think.
Yeah, I thought it'd be funny. And then her sister just, like, comes in without, like, her saying anything. She just walks into the room, and I'm like, you didn't lock the fucking door.
Can they lock the door?
I would never sleep in there if you couldn't lock the door.
Yes.
Seems wild.
I don't know.
It could also be something of, like, the blood opens the door and they have the same, like, something stupid like that.
Yeah. But, like, at the same time, so, like, the sister comes in and, like, he, like, snaps them with clothes on, but she's still on top of him. I'd be like, I'm so sorry. I'll come back in a few minutes and close the door. That's what I personally would do.
If you were her, but yeah. But if it was your sister, you'd be like, ha 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 ha.
But I would still close the door and leave.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to stay there. Like, they've been having sex for a bit. Right?
Yeah.
Like, they've both come once already.
Yeah. Well, she's come 3 times.
So, like, the place probably reeks of sex.
Yeah.
So, like, I wouldn't want to hang about in their musky... the musky room. Like, all up in their, like, sex smells.
Do you think it's... Maybe he made it all go away, too. Do you think that it hurt his penis when he put clothes on it and it was inside of her vagina and then it had to, like, snap back out because he put clothes on it? So it had to come out of her vagina because he put clothes on her?
No, I think he just didn't put panties on her.
But they put clothes on both... Oh, she's wearing a dress.
Yeah.
But he has pants on.
And I'm assuming he snapped them on so that the fly stayed open.
Okay. This is an interesting thought.
I think that your thought was a little more interesting. The fact that you thought he would, like, his penis would rebound, like, back into his pants.
Well, if he put clothes on it, magicked clothes on it, but she just crawls off of him in a second, and he's not... His dick isn't out.
But, like, I'm thinking... She starts to crawl off of him. Her dress is huge. Got enough of a train. He could probably tuck himself back in just before the dress is, off.
If they were going to do that, they should have just kept having sex. If she's going to barge in.
Yes. Can't believe, like, she barged in, saw what was going on, and then stuck around.
Yeah. And Genevieve actually just says that Ophelia would follow her here and end up having more fun. And then she asks for an introduction to Blackwell. And it's like, man, why are we doing this? It's funny, because it reminded me of, spoiler alert for Quicksilver, it reminded me of Quicksilver when we thought that, like, the brother was going to come, and I was like, oh my god, I don't care about the brother. Now, in this book, I'm like, I don't care about her sister.
I know. We don't... I'm sorry, Genevieve. We don't care about you right now.
I do, like, I feel like I'll get into it in the next book if I read it, but right now I just don't. So she asks Blackwell his intentions, besides fucking Ophelia stupid, and he's just like, I'll leave you guys to it. But he does tell Ophelia he's just a call away and, like, kisses her temple. Then he leaves. And Genevieve kind of is just like, what the fuck are you doing here? I said I had everything under control. And Ophelia is just like, she had to follow her because she's her baby sister. And Genevieve hates the paranormal. And Genevieve tells her, like, that she is capable. And she just hated having the paranormal stuff shoved into everything she did. She doesn't actually hate paranormal things. I'm like, okay, hopefully they explain that in the next book, because it seems like her mother didn't care about anything about her, so I don't see what paranormal was really shoved down, other than, like, I guess people coming around, that's shoved down her throat a bit, but
yes, but, like, come on,
that's her job, just go into a different room. It's like these kids are like emotionally neglected, as like Genevieve was emotionally neglected. Ophelia didn't come out much better, and I'm like, God, just go in a different room. Maybe I'm the problem. It's okay. I'm not having kids.
I don't think so.
Genevieve asks her how she figured out where she was, and Ophelia says that she found her diaries. And Genevieve is obviously pissed, but Ophelia
Then
is too.
Don't hide them underneath the floorboards.
Yeah, just don't have diaries.
Don't put them in a medium hard spot to find where you have to like pry the floorboards up. It's obviously too easy. Just do what everyone does and put them behind password protected, like, accounts on your computer.
Or your phone, yeah. Or have a lock on your diary, like we did as kids.
You mean the locks that you could pick with, like, a pin?
Yeah. And they all had the same key.
Yes.
Yeah. Ophelia says that she's pissed at her too because she didn't tell... Like, Genevieve didn't tell Ophelia that she was looking for their father. And they're both like, ooh, we both have stories. We should talk about it. So Genevieve tells Ophelia that she's been tracking Phantasma since she found out that their parents met here. And she knows about, like, their parents' curse because she intercepted letters from a Gabriel White and kept tabs on him, and he was in New York during the last Phantasma. She also says that a friend of a friend whose mom works at the bank told her about their debt, and she confronted their mom. And I'm like, this seems like something you're not allowed to tell.
This seems like confidentiality issues here.
Yeah, right? Like, I know it's not like a hospital thing, but I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to talk about other people's finances. But they did. And she confronted their mother about it, who swore her to secrecy from Ophelia. And Genevieve asked why they were in debt, but their mother said that there was more important things than the house. But she didn't tell her what that was, so Genevieve followed her when she realized that, like, a year ago, Ophelia was sick, and she was like, I'm going out for herbs. And then Genevieve was like, but the herbs... we have them. So she followed her. I'm like, this is a wild story, but okay.
It's a wild story. And it's like, okay, Genevieve, let's pick up the pace a little bit, please.
Yeah. And she had noticed that the mother was checking the mail often, so she assumed Gabriel was writing. And she followed her mother, and her mother met with a devil to pay him, to have their father forget them. But he didn't forget about their mother because Phantasma is more powerful than devil's magic outside of it. The curse is more powerful. So somehow, I guess maybe their mother was telling the devil this and Genevieve overheard it, or maybe Genevieve confronted her. Hard to say. But Gabriel told their mother that he was going to Phantasma to win, to be with her. But she basically just, like, bought another house just in case he won so that they could run and hide. But Genevieve doesn't know where it is, and it's been warded so well by, like, witches and shit that they're never going to be able to find it because they don't know where it is. And I'm like, is this going to come up in the next book? Because what? They just can't find this house that they own? Okay. Not that it matters, but...
I know, and I don't... It doesn't become a prominent part of...
this book, for sure.
The rest of this book. It's like, hello, we have a house, but we don't know where it is. And then... yeah. Okay, bye.
Yeah, nothing matters.
Yeah.
Cool. So Genevieve asks how Ophelia knows about their parents, and she says that Blackwell basically told her, and she says everything that she knows and that we already know. And Genevieve says that, like, she tells her literally everything. She probably explains all the sex too. Like, I'm sure she tells her everything that happened in the book so far.
Yeah.
Um, but Genevieve says their mother would have a heart attack if she knew about the blood oath. And that makes Ophelia flinch, and immediately Genevieve is like, "You spoke to our mother." And I'm like, I get that the paranormal shit is real, but that's your first reaction. That seems like a wild reaction. But okay.
Yeah.
So she has to explain the Whispering Gate and says that their mother wanted Genevieve to know that she loved her very much, which is sweet. So Genevieve then asks about Blackwell and what they were up to when she found them. It's like, obviously they were having sex.
Yeah.
Although to her it probably just looked like they were humping because they had clothes on. But Ophelia asks how she found them. And she says a devil told her that there's a necromancer here who looks like her. And Ophelia's just like, what does the devil look like? And she was like, hot, dark hair, he's got a nice ass, and he's got cat eyes. And I was like, that's Poe.
Yeah.
Like, they're talking about Poe. Because apparently I didn't listen to the description of Sinclair. I didn't realize Sinclair had cat eyes. But Ophelia knows it's Sinclair. And then I was like, oh shit, is Poe Sinclair? I've never seen.
Oh
them
my
in the
god,
same
that
room.
would be that would be such a twist.
It would be real funny. Ophelia asks what he said, and Genevieve says that he just found her after the trial and told her where to find Ophelia. And I'm like,
interrupted again.
Well, yeah, but I feel like Ophelia took a really long time in the trial because she had to wait to choose until Blackwell told her. And then she had to fight and kill Cade. And then after the trial...
Yes, all that shit happened.
She had the whole shadow voice situation. And then they had time for her to come 3 times and have sex and come together. So I'm like, did her sister have to murder a shit ton of people or something? Like...
Could have just been a time
What happened
warp.
there? Maybe. So yeah. Interesting. So Ophelia then asks, like, how Genevieve actually made it through the trials, because obviously she had a lot of trouble with it. And Genevieve tells her that she has another secret, and she turns invisible. And Ophelia shows that she can too, and explains that their father was a specter. And Genevieve is like, how do you know that? And Ophelia's like, well, Blackwell told her that their father was a specter because he knew him. And Genevieve kind of teases her that she has feelings for him. And I'm like, guys, we should care more. Ophelia asks how she lived through everything because she struggled. But Genevieve tells her that she would have been squished in the Truth and Dare one, but she got the cuffs off because she turns invisible and then, like, moved out of the way. And she left the haunts by going through walls. And Ophelia's surprised she's so good at it because, like, she's been practicing for a bit and she can't go through walls yet. But Genevieve says that she's been doing it since she was a kid. And she didn't tell Ophelia because she was afraid that if their mother found out Genevieve had magic, she would take away her freedom like she did to Ophelia. And Ophelia just is like, she kind of just says that, like, she was fine with her childhood. Like, she's not upset about the way that she was raised. And she thinks that her childhood was good. And they kind of have, like, a sister reckoning moment.
Yeah.
Because Genevieve never told Ophelia anything about her friends. And they kind of, like, hug it out and promise that they're good and it's them forever. And, like, it makes Ophelia feel okay again, because she did have a worry, I think it was last week, no, 2 weeks ago, that her sister, like, she didn't know her anymore. Ophelia must have brought up Lucy before now, but I didn't bring it up. Who knows why. Must have skipped it. It's fine. But Genevieve asks what happened to Lucy because Ophelia had brought it up, and Ophelia tells her that she's alive, but she's cursed. And Genevieve says Lucy is one of the nicest people she's ever met, so that's devastating. And Ophelia agrees, but says that her cousin, ... And Genevieve is like, oh, do you mean Cade? Because he's awful. And Ophelia is like, good, because I killed him. And I get it a bit, but I'm also like, damn, we're just fine with telling people we're murderers. Like, this is...
Yeah. Although,
okay.
I mean, if you can't tell your sister you killed someone, who can you tell?
Like, I guess. I don't know. I don't think I'd tell anyone.
Well, I don't know if I'd be able to not tell.
That's fair. You'd say it on the podcast. We'd have to edit it out, and then it would just be on our computers. Other secrets in our editing process. We take out anytime we say that we've killed someone.
So how many people have we killed so far? You'll never know.
This is how the FBI just like comes in and takes over shit. So Genevieve says that Ophelia's changed so much in such a short time, but Ophelia says that she's never felt sure of who she is. And Genevieve just says, like, maybe that makes sense because Phantasma is like where she was, is her origin, and by that she means where she was conceived.
So that obviously makes a difference.
Yeah, like, no, she's trying to say, like, there's a connection here. Maybe that's why you feel more like yourself. And I'm like, this is a wild thought. Like, is she cursed because she was conceived through love here? Like, what are we saying? So Ophelia says, or she's just her mother's, or their mother's daughter. And Genevieve says that she's proud of Ophelia. And Ophelia apologizes for their big ol' argument in the alley at the very beginning of this book, which was a bajillion years
ago. It was a bajillion years ago. I legit forgot about it.
Oh, yeah. But Ophelia assumes that that's what drove Genevieve to come here. And Genevieve is just like, no, I always planned to come here, which is just kind of funny. And I love it. And then Genevieve says that, oh yeah, I literally just said that. I wrote it down twice for some reason.
Amazing.
Good job, me.
You wanted to make sure you didn't forget about it.
I did. She does say that Ophelia was right, though. Ophelia kept having to clean up Genevieve's messes, so she wanted to do something for herself once. And Genevieve says now they have 48 hours to make sure that Ophelia doesn't give a decade of her life to a sexy ghost. And Ophelia feels hopeful that they'll figure it out. So now we're on to night 9.
So do you know what? So obviously we finished the book at this point. But if I'm coming at this from a lens of somebody who hadn't finished the book, and I believe I had the thought during this section, like, maybe, because we've been talking this whole time of, like, they're never gonna work because he's a ghost, and she's a human, so, like, it'll never work, even if she does free him. But, like,
yeah,
maybe this whole 10 years thing could work to their advantage, and maybe her giving him 10 years of her life is, like, giving him 10 years of them together.
If he was able to leave.
Yeah. Or, like...
Yeah, really, though.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I do. I just have many thoughts. Because, like, yeah, what would happen if a Phantom is stuck there and he's untethered? Would he just disappear even if he had the 10 years because he wouldn't have a tether?
I don't know. It's a great question.
Yeah, I don't really... And maybe he was just trying to die. He's just trying to get out of here and, like, just pass on.
Yeah.
Because, like, stuck there is ages, so...
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a thought.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're on our 9th night. I, at one point, thought there was 7 nights only. That doesn't make any sense because of the amount of levels.
Yeah, like, isn't it like, I thought it was 12, but it must be only 10,
Yeah.
is it?
Well, I guess it's...
Because there are 9 trials, so we're on night 9, it's trial number 8.
Yes. Good point. Yeah, because the 9th trial is just... Yeah. Yes, this is... Yeah, it must be 10, because night 1, they just go to their rooms.
They're like, welcome to Phantasma. Please acclimate yourself to our haunted house.
Yeah. And I guess the thing is, like, Ophelia didn't know anything really about Phantasma beforehand. Like, you can assume that Genevieve probably did some research, knew something about what was going to happen. Yeah. And Ophelia just came in stupidly.
Although, like, my issue is that I don't understand how the specter thing where she can turn invisible, I don't understand how that's helped her for every single challenge. Like, I don't know how that helped her get through, like, the gold climbing on the cage one. How would that have helped?
Did she just climb out of her cage and climb up the hill? Like, climbing up the hill without a cage you'd think would be easier than climbing up a hill with a cage. I guess.
And, like, the lust one. Like, how did her being invisible, like, she still had to drink the drink, and she still had to find the door. So I don't know how...
Well...
You know what I'm saying?
I just wonder if she just knows more about the trials.
Yeah.
Like, because Ophelia was like, straight in, no question, no Googling. And obviously Genevieve had been researching Phantasma, so I kind of wonder if she, like, knew a little bit about some of the trials.
It just seems like everyone's dumb. And, like, no one knows about the trials. You know what I mean? Like, they said, oh yeah, no, like, they don't change the trials. They're always the same. But, like, it seems like everybody's like, oh my god, this trial. So it's like,
yes.
So what, nobody does their research except for Genevieve?
I wonder if she read through her mother's journal or something.
Maybe.
She did talk about that earlier.
Like, there was a guy that was interviewed, so it's like, information must be out there.
Well, that's what I was thinking about, Cade. I was like, some of these things, he seems to know more than I think he should. And, like, I think the issue, too, is it's in so many different places, and information spreading is hard when there's no internet.
I guess.
Or phones? When was phones invented?
Cell phones?
No.
Just regular phones.
Yeah.
Early 1900s.
It doesn't matter.
Isn't it like the early 1900s? Maybe the late 1800s?
And that's when... Wait, are you saying that's when...
Phones were invented, I think.
Okay. And that's when... But that's when this is also taking place. So, like, they're probably, like... Maybe they're like cars and they're not everywhere.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like they have a phone.
The first practical telephone was invented by Alexander Graham Bell, who received a patent for it on March 7th, 1870.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like they have a phone in their house.
No.
Because they're always talking about going to the mail. Anyway. So... the trio of them are searching the manor again, and they haven't seen any other contestants yet, which Ophelia finds odd, and she kind of wants to get, like, an idea of what they're like. Blackwell is, like, BFFs with Genevieve and is enjoying her questions, and it makes something deep inside of Ophelia ache. And at first I was like, jealousy? Yeah. But I don't think it is. I think it's just, like, he fits into their little family well, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's one of those feelings, and then also the fact that he's gonna be gone. So yeah. We get an explanation that I'm like, this doesn't make sense to me, but okay. So we get that each group that had their bunch of people in a hallway with a dining room and, like, all of the rooms, they all look exactly the same. And Ophelia realizes they're all on different linear planes. So that means that when she found the secret room from the library, it was the same secret room that any of the other contestants would have found if they went through their own library. Okay. So she thinks that, like, technically, if you knew that, contestants could have been, like, leaving each other messages. Yes. Or even, I assume, meeting up maybe? Yeah. I don't really know. But anyway, it's just like, why can't they just be identical? Like, why does it have to be on linear planes? But I don't know. Maybe that's the point. So yeah.
So, like, theoretically, I don't understand why she didn't just send Blackwell to give her sister messages.
I know.
Like, legit. I don't get it. Because in my head I was like, oh, Blackwell could have easily gone to Genevieve and told her about the secret room, and then her and Ophelia could have met there, but I'm like, what the fuck am I saying? He could have just sent her messages for her on her behalf.
100%. I don't know why he didn't do that. And that's why I kind of thought that she wouldn't be there, because I thought he was like, I'm not going to tell her that she's not here, or she'll leave and not try to search for my key. I don't get it. Anyway, so they're going around. Genevieve is making jokes about a team name, and she's like, well, what do we have in common? Well, we're all attractive. And it's just kind of funny. But Ophelia is like, loves that they're all together, and she's upset that it's going to end soon. Because, you know, Blackwell.
2 days left.
And then, And then Poe shows up, and Genevieve calls him Fluffy.
Yeah.
Because she was like, how was I supposed to know his name? Which is just funny. And then Ophelia's just like, okay, guys, that's it for the night. We're not going to find it. So Genevieve asks if they're going to share a room. And Ophelia and Blackwell, like, share a look. And you'd think Genevieve would get the
This is, again,
message.
She's such a cock block. It's, like, potentially their last night. And Genevieve's like, yeah, me and my sister will share a bed. It's like, girl, you know they're, like...
trying to bone.
Yeah.
But it's also, it's just kind of funny because, like, it takes Genevieve so long to go get her shit that they could have.
Yeah.
Before she gets back.
And, like,
why didn't you just do that?
Well, I guess it just annoys me, too, because, like, she knows that, like, one, she obviously knows that Genevieve or Ophelia and Blackwell have something going on. Two, like, her and her sister have their entire lives to spend together. Theoretically,
maybe
Ophelia and Blackwell, yes, maybe, but theoretically, Blackwell and Ophelia are about to be parted. If she can't find his anchor or whatever, they're going to be parted for all of eternity. And she's like, I'll sleep with my sister. You can go fuck yourself. Like, really?
Yeah. I was like, why doesn't she just sleep on the floor and they can cuddle?
Yeah. She is...
Because, like...
either clueless or doing it on purpose.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? Maybe she's trying to make sure that she doesn't get cursed because she's falling in love. That is, like, the gentlest take I can give this. But Blackwell does say it's for the best because, like, they'll be safest together. So Blackwell transports her to her room, and they have a bit of a moment, but they know this is best. And then Genevieve's stuff is just all over the floor the next morning when Ophelia wakes up, because she didn't even stay up long enough for her sister to get back. He could have boned. Then he could have left. He can magic your sheets clean, because he magics clothes on. Why didn't you move to Genevieve's room after you boned?
I know. So many things that they could have done different.
Yeah. So they call Blackwell to search again, and he tells them that a few of the other contestants are trying to hunt people down to kill them before the next level, because only one person can do level 9. And he's like, this always happens. She's like, okay, good. That's great. So Ophelia tries to tell Genevieve that she should leave, but obviously she doesn't want to. Sorry? Yeah, I was just talking about hunting down and killing people before the next level.
Hear that bit, sorry.
Because only one person can do level 9.
I mean, it makes so much sense.
That only one person can do it, or
you're gonna hunt down and down and killing. If only one person can do 9 and a bunch of people pass 8, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. And, like, probably just came off of a task where you had to potentially kill someone anyway. Like, that's what happened to Ophelia. Like, she just had to kill someone.
Yeah.
So, like, you're already used to it, potentially.
Was this something her and Blackwell discussed? I feel like it was, like, trying to get Genevieve to quit. Or was this something Ophelia... I feel like it's a familiar idea, so I'm trying to remember if Ophelia and Blackwell talked about it, or if Ophelia kept thinking that she was going to do it to like, she was going to try and get Genevieve to quit before that.
There's 2 conversations about it. This is the first one. There's one later. So maybe you're...
Maybe I'm thinking ahead / behind.
Of this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, she tries to tell her to quit. But I'm also like, Genevieve's the one that wanted to come here. What the fuck are you talking about? Why would she quit?
I know, but I guess, like, Ophelia has a better shot.
Because she has Blackwell? Yeah, I guess. But, like, your percentage of winning is higher if both of you...
That's a good point.
...go into level 8.
But, like, well, and I guess then there'd be 2-on-1, so, like, they could defer, like, if they both made it out of level 8, one of them could just bow out for level 9. You know what I mean? If only one person can do level.
Exactly. So, it's interesting. Blackwell tells her then that, like, she should forfeit before level 8 because it's dangerous. Like, all of these are dangerous. What do you mean? Like, people just died in every single one. What do you mean? Sinclair shows up, and he says he's sure they'll be fine. And Genevieve says that he's the one who told her about Ophelia being here, which we kind of got a little earlier. And Sinclair says that they go way back, and him and Ophelia, and that the last time he saw her, his fingers were, and Blackwell cuts him off and says he'll kill him if he finishes the sentence. And Ophelia thinks that jealousy is hot on Blackwell, which is hilarious. And Genevieve says, please tell me they're fighting over you, which I also love. Sinclair implies that Blackwell is falling for Ophelia.
Did we already reach the moment where Blackwell, that Sinclair, that he knows, that he found out that Sinclair did that? Was that last week? The weeks are merging.
Yeah.
So, like, Blackwell knew this already. So, did he know this, or did he think they just kissed?
Well, he got pissed at her that they kissed, so I don't know if he knew how far they went. So, not sure. So, Sinclair then tells Genevieve that Blackwell isn't the only one Ophelia kissed. And Ophelia says that Blackwell is the only one that she enjoyed, which is such a good burn. Genevieve says that no one's offered to kiss her this whole time, which is kind of funny because everything's about her.
Valid. If I was in a hotel, like a haunted hotel, haunted mansion place, and everybody, and like people were kissing left and right, I'd be like, "Where is my kisser?"
Where's my kisser? Yeah. I don't think everyone's kissing left and right. I think it's just Ophelia.
Even still.
Yeah. Sinclair then offers to kiss Genevieve. And, like, I would have been like, yes, please.
Kissing a demon? Absolutely. I want my shot. Let me shoot my shot.
Sinclair tells them that he came to check that they reunited, and it would be a shame if they were torn apart again. And Ophelia asks what his angle is, but he just says that she should figure it out and leaves. And Ophelia then just tells Genevieve that Blackwell and Sinclair are enemies, and Genevieve is surprised that she kissed both, which is just, yeah. Blackwell then's kind of, what's the word? Paranoid? Because he's like, if Sinclair wants them together, it's likely not a good idea for Genevieve to stay. And Genevieve obviously doesn't want to leave. She's the one who came here first, and Ophelia says that Genevieve got her this far, and it changed Ophelia's life and future. And she's trying to figure out, like, exactly how and what she's going to do. But that Genevieve did her part, so she should go home. So Genevieve basically just agrees to leave before level 8, but she's going to stay around and help search until dinner.
She caves real fast.
She really does. I was really surprised.
For how, I guess, like,
stubborn she is.
No, like, just for how much Ophelia wanted to find her sister, and, like, that was sort of her motivation the whole time. I sort of thought Genevieve would have a more prominent role but it was really like, I found you! Now leave. Okay.
Well, which is what we wanted, but we wanted it last night.
Yeah.
Not right now.
Yeah, it just like, I don't know. It's just a little bit like, I don't know. It just felt like there should be more. Like, she should be there for, like, I don't know. I just thought it would be more like I'm here, let me help you. Okay.
Yeah. I feel like there could have been a level 8, a level 9, and then level 10 is the end or something. Like, they could have done a level together.
Yeah.
Would have been more.
Been nice.
Yeah. So now we get to level 8. They spent the whole day searching. Didn't find anything. Ophelia and Genevieve are saying goodbye, and Ophelia says that she's going to win, and Genevieve tells Blackwell to take care of her, or he'll have 2 sworn enemies. And she tells Blackwell that she hopes to meet him again. He's just like, that's not possible. Genevieve and Ophelia tell each other that they love each other, and Genevieve tells Ophelia whatever she decides to make sure that she protects her heart. And Ophelia tells her to clean her room.
Valid point.
And then Genevieve surrenders. Blackwell hugs Ophelia and says 2 more levels and it's over and she's free. But she thinks, like, he's not. Which is the whole thing. There are only 6 people left, which is just super interesting.
Yeah.
I'd like to know the stats of how many died.
Yeah.
And how many surrendered. And the devil shows up, and of course, it's Sinclair. And when he sees Ophelia alone, he just grins. And they're like, shit, we did what he wanted by sending her home. Which I don't really get. Why?
Because of the upcoming trial.
Yeah, but they would have been in separate rooms, like...
Yeah.
She would have had her own room to deal with. What do you mean?
I don't think they could have done what they did if they had a contest. Like, I don't think they could have mocked up a fellow contestant.
But Blackwell says later that he wanted her to go home so that Genevieve couldn't accidentally kill Ophelia.
Maybe.
It just... I don't really understand it, but... I don't know. Anyway.
I will say that, we really... Well, I'm speaking for myself, but sort of for both of us. Like, we enjoyed this book. A lot of the, like, reviews that I've read, not... like literary reviews, but like reviews from the common man, we'll say. Like a lot of people sort of, I don't want to say complain, but they find the ending is sort of like starts to get a little bit loosey. Like there's a lot of questionable choices made just to sort of clue everything up, and we will get into it a little bit more once we reach sort of the end. But like, a lot of people found this last little bit sort of like, what? You know what I mean? Like, there are choices made for the sake of the story that they don't make sense. Like, logically, they don't make sense.
I do wonder, like, if there's going to be more about it in the next book, because I still have many questions. So, they get the clue, and it is just choose wisely. So... Ophelia is the last to go in, and he grins and says that her sister forfeit, and she says that he played her, and he says that he has a feeling he'll see her again very soon. I wonder if that means because she's gonna call out to him, does he think? I don't know. But anyway. No, whatever. Anyway, he's antagonizing, and she's like, he wanted Genevieve to forfeit. That's the point. So she goes into the room, and she's alone in a white room. But before she can call for Blackwell, Genevieve calls out to her. And then another Genevieve calls out to her. And she's like, what the fuck? And the first Genevieve is like, that's not me. And the second one is like, what's going on? So she calls for Blackwell, and he's delayed. And by the time he gets there, because he can't hear her. And I'm like, shouldn't he just be like corporeal and watching her and then hear her say his name and be able to come?
Because he says many times that he can watch from the audience. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So it's just odd. I don't know. So yeah. The two Genevieves are just fighting each other. And he basically just tells her that this level is fraud. And I was like, yes. The deadly sin fraud. I know they're not all deadly sins, but it was just kind of funny.
Is fraud? Like...
which is kind of ironic, thinking of later in the book. So he tells her she needs to figure out which one is the real Genevieve. And he says that the stakes are much higher this level. And I'm like, what do you mean they're much higher? You could die in any level. How are they much higher now? But he says that if she chooses the wrong Genevieve, the magic of Phantasma will kill the real Genevieve. And it's why he wanted Genevieve gone, because if Genevieve was still here and Genevieve did the task, then she could kill Ophelia, and Ophelia could kill Genevieve, and then they'd both be dead. So we're like, okay. And Ophelia then remembers something that Blackwell said, that her father lost Phantasma 3 days before it came to New Orleans. And she asks how long there is between competitions, and he says less than 48 hours, which is wild. So he's been in this competition 500 years, and there's only been like 48 hours between each one.
I know,
like
how many people.
But that's like they're doing high 20s competitions a year because there's 10 days or whatever. 500 years.
It's like 10,000.
High 20s. I'm not
10,000 competitions.
It's yeah. Plus 10,000 plus, because I think it's maybe higher 20s. Anyway, doesn't matter.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's insane. I didn't think it was that many. At first I thought it was once a year, but every 2 weeks basically. Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I would say they do have like a few days in between of like.
Yeah, he says 48 hours.
Just for like tear down and set up, and like also. Like,
but they're magic.
Yeah, but then also like arriving in the city and being like, "We're here. Who wants to come in?" You know.
Yeah, but still, I'm like, that is wild. I for some reason, I really didn't think it was going to be that many. But anyway, so Ophelia kind of just like almost passes out, and he has to help her to the floor. And the Genevieves come over and are like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And Blackwell has to, like, push them off. But she explains that their father is the reason their mother died. And Blackwell realizes, like, he kind of thinks it through, and he realizes that she's right. Because her father did this task and failed it. He didn't pick their mother, and then she died immediately. Because, like, they were like, oh, it must have been a heart attack. But it was literally him failing this task that killed her. Which is wild.
And to be fair, I'm glad that we got this answer.
Me too, because I was expecting it to be like, oh, she lost 10 years, which I think I said 15 million times while we were doing this. I thought it was connected, but yeah, this is interesting. So she starts to sob, and Blackwell says he had no idea, because by this point in Gabriel's run of Phantasma, he stopped calling him. One of the Genevieves says she doesn't know what's happening, and Ophelia stands to look at them, and they look the same. And Ophelia says that she broke 2 ribs playing tag and asks how old they were. And they both at the same time say it was only 1 rib. And Genevieve 1 says that she was 12, Ophelia was 12, and she was 8, and it was an accident. And Blackwell says that, like, when she first came to Phantasma, they were inside of her head. So anything that she knows, the house knows, and they can make the fake Genevieve know. So she has to ask questions that she doesn't know the answers to. And she's just like,
what the fuck?
what the fuck? So she asks Genevieve how many people she's kissed. And the first one says that she doesn't know how many exactly because there were too many drunk kisses, but she thinks around 30. And then the second Genevieve says that's insulting and it's only 11. So she immediately thinks that Genevieve 1 is the imposter because she read her sister's diary and it was super detailed. So she does think that her sister
would know the exact number.
Wouldn't. Well, not even that, because then she says that she wouldn't know the exact number. But she doesn't think that her sister would forget any of the kisses. So she doesn't think it's the first one. But she also doesn't think that she'd know the exact number immediately. So she's kind of wary of the second one, too. And I was like, you're confusing me.
So it's the part that where she says she doesn't know exactly too many drunk kisses to count. She's saying, no, my sister would absolutely count.
Yes.
So it's not the number that's the problem. It's that her saying, I don't remember. That's the problem. But
and with the other one, she's like, she wouldn't remember the exact number.
What?
But she also thinks, like, she can almost name 11 people that she knows her sister has kissed. And she's like, she talked to so many other people that she didn't tell Ophelia about. So, like...
Definitely more than 11.
It wouldn't be that little. Yeah. And I didn't really know where this was going yet. But, you know. So she holds her necklace and she approaches Genevieve 1 and she feels nothing. And then she goes to Genevieve 2 and she feels nothing. And she just says that neither one of them are Genevieve. And I'm like, damn, she's putting it out there. So both of them dissolve and a portal appears. And she says that she has a bone to pick with the Prince of the Devils.
Why is she so mad all of a sudden?
I don't really know. I guess because she failed.
Why did she fail? She didn't fail.
Oh, no. She failed her bargain with... She didn't get the key. Yeah, and because he's got to stay here. And then we get another super short chapter, and it's basically just like soft hearts do no one any good. So when she gets an audience with Phantasma's creator, she will not have a soft heart because it'll be hardened by the heartbreak of the last 2 weeks and the upcoming heartbreak of losing Blackwell, unless she does something about it. And if the creator refuses, she'll show him her teeth.
Yikes.
Yeah.
So, I guess the portal is made, Ophelia goes through it, and she's back in the foyer of the house? Not the... I don't know. I wrote foyer, but it could be dining room. But she goes to, like, just a blank wall and waits for Blackwell. And Sinclair wonders, she's like, what are you doing?
Fair.
And she's just annoyed with him, and she's like, wait and see. And, like, she seems pissed. And again, like, I don't really get what made her so angry. Like, maybe it's the fact that she realized that her mom is dead because of Phantasma. So maybe that's why she's mad, but, like...
Did you just say Phantasma?
Maybe I did. Who knows? I thought I said Phantasma, but Phantasma works, too. Anyway, so Blackwell appears, sees her standing in front of a wall, and knows what she's doing. She's summoning the door again. So, like, way back, I think in week 1, when she first officially sort of met Blackwell, and he was like, do you need any help? Because she's at a door trying to open it and can't open it. And she's like, oh, are you going to open the door for me? And he says, no, I was just seeing if you needed help. Like, I'm not going to help you.
Yeah.
So that door. So she could never figure out how to open it. So now we're assuming, or she's figured something out.
And also... she knows what the door is now. Like, I was like...
I know, I don't really understand how she knows what the door's purpose is, but we're just...
Yeah.
So again, so like, as I said, there's a lot of disparity now at the end. There's sort of a lot of questions popping up of like, how does she know this? Like, what, where did she get this information? Anyway, it's fine. But there's definitely a lot of disparity now at the end of the book. Like, it seems like maybe the writer was trying to clue things up and maybe left some open it. Some strings untied.
And, like, maybe... Yeah, and maybe some of it is going to come up in the next book, like
yeah, maybe,
because there's definitely some things that like it absolutely does not make sense that are not explained.
Yeah, maybe we need to read them.
Yeah.
So Blackwell shows up, knows what she's doing, and
How?
I know, he just knows.
Sorry.
And
yeah.
Sinclair doesn't want her to open the door, and actually doesn't think she can. But like she pictures it. I guess he doesn't know that she already did call it or summon it. So she just imagines it in her mind, and her locket heats up, and when she opens her eyes, the door is there. So she tries to open the door, and it still doesn't open. But Blackwell tells her that she has to say the creator's name to open it. And because he's not allowed to talk about the creator, he couldn't help in her open it. Like, he couldn't tell her, you need to know the creator's name, because he's not allowed to talk about the creator. Sinclair is allowed to talk about the creator, told her the creator's name, so really, Sinclair did all this.
He only has himself to blame.
So Sinclair's still trying to stop her from opening it, tells her she'll be sorry if she does this, warning her, and she just ignores the whole thing. She asks Blackwell if he truly believes that they will always find their way back to each other, and that nothing would ever stop him from getting back to her if she needs him. And he replies yes. And he tells her when she goes through that door, it will not be the last time he sees her, and he swears. So, like, this is sort of their goodbye, but not their goodbye. Like, it's a goodbye because, theoretically, if she goes through this door, she may finish Phantasma, and, you know, it really only depends on how her wish goes. So she says Salem Maestris' name, and the door unlocked. So she goes inside, and the door slams behind her. She's pushed by wind into a dark room to a single spot light that's, like, lit up. She doesn't really understand what to do next. She calls for Salem Maestris' name, but he doesn't answer. So she calls for Blackwell's name instead. And it takes a minute, but eventually he walks into the light and says hello. And she's relieved that he, like, could get in. Like, that he could get into the room. And then asks, like, what should I do? But he doesn't answer. And she thinks there must be something different. Like, she thinks there's something different about him. Like, he's not acting like himself. And then he introduces himself. Like, may I formally introduce myself as Salem Maestris Erasmus Blackwell, Prince of Devils. But she can call him Salem. So, essentially, Blackwell has been our Prince of Devils the entire time.
Yeah. Which is funny, because last week when they were playing Truth or Dare, if she hadn't kissed Sinclair, she would have said, no, she didn't kiss a devil. And she would have died. Everyone would have died.
Ooh.
Well, she probably would have moved out of the way.
Yeah, because she could.
But,
yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Do you think...
I definitely think Sinclair...
Do you think Sinclair did it on purpose?
I 100% do. Even though...
Is he better than we think he is?
Because, like...
Is he the love interest in the next book?
He's not. But, like, I honest to God think he must be better, because, like, although him and Blackwell are, like... Although he's pissed off that Blackwell sort of caused him to be trapped, I feel like he's just one of those people that, like, he just loves love. You know what I mean? Because, like, he was literally helping Salem Maestris, like, betray his dad to be with the love of his life. Like, they were besties. So, like, I know you're probably really mad at your bestie for, like, causing you to be trapped for all eternity. Maybe secretly he hopes that he'll find his way out.
Yeah. I think he's rooting for him.
Anyway, so this is sort of our big, like, dun dun dun! He was the Prince of Devils the whole time. So then, I know.
Shock.
Yeah. What a
shock? The shock
is
his name.
What a twist. Salem Maestris, Erasmus Blackwell, or Erasmus. Yeah. I don't know. I just find the name Salem a really silly name for a demon. or like a devil.
Because of Sabrina.
Well, partly, and like I also I've actually had students. Well, a student with the name Salem, and in my brain it's geared as more of a like feminine. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because of that student, but also like Salem witch trials was like against women, and like I don't know. I just like the name in my brain is sort of wired to think of it as more feminine than this like hot devil print. But like
I guess there's not many people. Like, what else would you shorten Salem Maestress to it? Maestro?
I mean, maybe wouldn't have chosen that name, but maybe I would have, like, chosen a riff on, like, Lucifer, like, even though that's probably his dad's name, but it would make sense for then his name to be, like, sort of a riff.
Lucifer Jr.?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so at this point, we sort of actually leave, the present, so like we don't even get really her reaction to finding out who he is. It immediately does like a flashback to 5 centuries before Phantasma, so 500 years before Phantasma, and I'm like 500 centuries.
500. No, you're right.
But like
500.
it doesn't say, it just says before Phantasma, so I'm like 500 years before she entered Phantasma, or 500 years before Phantasma started.
I think before she entered.
It didn't say.
Because he immediately goes,
So, we're in Salem Maestress's point of view, and he's
It's more of a, like, broad point of view, though.
It is.
Like, we're just getting this, because at the end, he's not even there.
No, it feels sort of like we're sort of in his point of view, but it's sort of third person, maybe a little bit omniscient.
Yeah.
Like, it focuses mainly on him, but it also, yes, he does leave at one point and we're left with someone else. But, like, obviously Ophelia's not there. Sort of the big news bulletin there. Ophelia is not present. So, we'll get there. So, obviously he's thinking about all the terrible things he's witnessed and that he's done as the Prince of Devils, but nothing has made him the most terrified as knowing she was taken. And he says that it's been a year since he's been in Nocturnia, which is, I guess, the kingdom in hell. But he comes into his father's domain now and walks right into the castle, and he's thinking, like, he's coming for her. He went on a rampage and killed all the guards on his way to the throne room because he's mad and didn't want to go through any of them, so he just killed them all. And he thought that right now he was being evil, but as soon as he got her back, he would be every bit as good as possible for her. Because she deserves it. No, you should not. Absolutely not. And, like, I'm sorry, but if I had someone who was, like, a little bit bad and I fell in love with them, I'd probably love them a little bit for the bad. You know what I mean? Like, a bad boy. Everyone loves a bad boy, but, like, if they go completely good for you, are they still a bad boy? I don't know. Anyway, so he enters the throne room, and his father is on the throne with a cat in his lap. And it is mentioned that the cat is his spy. Yeah.
Sad.
And the first thing he asks is, where the fuck is she? And his dad doesn't like that. And then Salem Maestress don't really care. He does not care. He says, I will burn this entire kingdom to the ground if you don't give her back. And the king believes it, but reminds Salem that he knows his true name. So this is one of those, I feel like this is common in a lot of fae books, where if you know the true name of the individual, then you can control them. Is that a fae thing?
Yeah. Well, isn't it like a Rumpelstiltskin thing?
Yeah, it is a Rumpelstiltskin thing, but I feel like I thought it was more than that.
Yeah, I think it's like a, it is boring. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's boring. It's definitely like a mythical thing.
Yeah. And that, so like the fact that his dad, he's like, I know your true name, and he's like, well, and Salem is freaking out because he only ever told one person his true name. And I'm like, okay, so if his dad made him.
Yeah.
And, like, if he was birthed...
Where does his name come from?
How does he know what his true name is, and how does his dad not know it? Because you would think his dad would know it anyway because he gave birth to him.
Yes.
But apparently not. Anyway, so he's only told one person his true name, and it's the mortal that he loves. So the fact that his dad knows it means that the mortal told him. And his dad says, don't be too angry with her. Mortals are fragile. And it took 3 whole days of torture for her to finally tell them. So, like, we now know this poor girl has been tortured. And, like, Salem is devastated that she was in pain and, like, begs his dad to punish him and not her because she has done nothing wrong. And I'm like, well, that's a terrible thing to say. Because obviously you're proving right now how much you care about her. So punishing him... means hurting her or like doing something to her, right? That punishes him.
Yeah.
So the king thinks that she's a liability, and he brings her out, and like she is a mess. She's full of bruises, lacerations, she's got a split lip, missing so like they really worked on her. So Salem approaches her and holds her like on the ground, and he plans on healing her, but she's just so happy he's here, and she tells him that she told them he would come for her. So she just has, like, a ton of faith, which, like, makes him sad, I guess. Like, he doesn't like it. Because he feels like he failed her.
Well.
Like, he did. How did he not, like, was it that, like, I wish we could know a bit more of the story. Because, like, they tortured her for 3 days. What was he doing? Did he not know she was missing? Was he trying, like, I feel like if the love of your life goes missing, and your dad is the king of devils, I would probably go to him first.
Yeah, maybe it took him 3 days to kill all of the people to get here. I don't know. There's a bit of this story that's missing.
That's how it feels. Anyway, so like he feels like he failed her and he doesn't deserve her faith, but she hugs him anyway and he tells her he's sorry. So then she's ripped away and like magic slams into him, and the king is holding her by the throat and around the waist. So he's got one arm around her waist, and the other hand is holding her through. And apparently she has crystal blue eyes. Take from that what you will. So Salem just begs his dad to let her go, promises to return to Nocturnia for eternity, just to keep her safe. Like, he's like, I'll leave her, I'll stay with you, just don't hurt her. But his dad just tells him not to move, and then calls him Blackwell. So that's his true name. And it magically holds him.
Okay, that is his true name?
So...
Okay. I kind of missed that. I was like, do we ever get anything about his true name? Like, what the fuck? Also, does that mean that Ophelia's been controlling him this whole time? Because she knew his true name?
Everybody knows his name. Right? Everybody was calling him Blackwell.
So why isn't it controlling him?
I'm assuming... in part, it's probably because he's cursed, not, like, I'm assuming it has something to do with his curse, and, like, the fact that he doesn't remember his past, or that he's he's living his life thinking he's a phantom. I'm assuming it has something to do with that, because, like, if the name Blackwell controlled him, he would automatically know who he is, and therefore remember, maybe?
Yes. Whoops. Yeah. I suppose. I guess maybe his father's control is more powerful than anyone else can control.
Yeah, I would say.
Because, obviously, his father's been controlling him for, 500 years?
I don't even know if he has, though. Like, I don't think his dad comes up often and, like, exerts control. I think he's used his magic to, like, place him, sort of.
But his forgetting everything...
I thought that was, like, part of just the magic deal that... or the magic curse that he put on, like,
Yeah, I just assumed his name had something to do with, like, knowing his name was the reason he was able to curse him.
Probably.
I don't know. Yeah, it's confusing.
Anyway, so Blackwell is sort of held in place. He asks, the dad, like the king, asks the girl if she has any last words for her beloved, and she just tells him that she loves him. And the king allows him to speak again, and he tells her he loves her, and that he's sorry she ever met him. And she just asks him not to forget her, and he swears he won't, and calls her Angel. So I'm like, is that...
Which is
It is sad, but I'm like, is that her name?
Because he does.
Her name
I think it is her
Angel?
name.
It's a weird name for 500, for like the 1400, but it's fine. Anyway, so then the king reaches into her chest and pulls out her heart, and drops it on the floor. And he tells a servant, like, he just drops it in front of a servant and says, dispose of it like we just... And then he makes Blackwell approach him, and, like, Blackwell's cursing his dad out, telling him, like, he's gonna melt the flesh from his bones and ruin his whole life, and, like, his dad knows that he means it, but he's like, I'm gonna banish you so that you can't do that. Like, again, he's like, I know your true name now, I can control you. So he's like, taking her away from you was not your punishment. And, like, I guess Blackwell thought it was. And he's like, I'm gonna banish you and punish you, but I have set up a loophole. So he, which is like a nice dad thing for him to do, actually.
Yeah, it's like, why though?
But that's the thing, like, why? So he tells Salem that he's sending him to Phantasma, which is his new creation, where he'll have no recollection of who he is, unless he finds a heart and a key to set him free. So that's sort of the rhyme that we got, the clue that we got, like, back in week 1.
Yeah.
And he asks, what does he get if he frees himself? And his dad offers him a prize. Like, he's like, I'll give you a prize, like a king's prize. And he says he wants everyone who knows his true name to forget it, including his dad, which will sort of keep him safe again.
Yeah. I feel like it doesn't really come up again, though.
No. And, like, I'm just sort of annoyed because, like, you love this girl with all your heart. You would think that it would be, I want you to bring her back. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you literally are just like, oh my god, I love this girl more than life. I want to be good for her. I want to abandon my crown. Like, you know, he's talking about how he hasn't been in Nocturnia for a year because he's been with her. And, like, I'm just like, you have the opportunity to ask for anything, and that's what you ask for, to, like, protect yourself again?
Well, I guess if he did find the loophole, if he did get out, and then she did come back, his father could be like, and now you have to kill her because I know your true name. But yeah, it is kind of funny.
Anyway, so the king...
To be fair, I thought he would ask for more. I thought it was going to be like, I want this and this and this and this and this. I was like, oh wait, that's all you're asking for?
People don't understand the art of, like, asking for things. Yeah, I'm not saying the art of the deal, but, like, they don't understand, like, if you are getting a favor from the king of devils, like, make it a good one.
100%.
So, the king orders Sinclair. So, Sinclair was, like, standing by the throne the whole time. He had been held captive by a couple of guards to escort him to Phantasma, where they would both be stuck. But all Salem could think of was her name, Angel, over and over.
Which is why I think it's her name. It's just a weird name.
It's fine, I guess.
But I guess you have to pick a name that you can then give someone else as a nickname.
Yeah, I guess, like,
so it, like,
Sweetheart
it would be
or Darling
really weird.
doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
So, this is sort of where we get the alternating point of view / perspectives now, because Blackwell leaves, and the king tells the cat to follow them after they leave, and to report back after each game. So that's Poe. Poe has been the spy.
An enemy this whole time.
Yeah. I'm very sad about it too.
But it does make me wonder, like, how is the king communicating with Poe?
I'm assuming Poe is a ghost cat, so I'm assuming he can just go between worlds.
Yeah, but can the king speak cat?
I'm assuming he can, or maybe he can speak mind to mind.
Okay. Because I'm like, why hasn't Blackwell communicated with this cat?
Maybe he has. Anyway, so the king tells the cat, he says, follow them, and after they leave, and report back after each game. So, like, he has to report back quite a lot, after every, like, 10 or so days. So then he asks for his servants to come back, and asks to speak to Dahlia, and asks if she took care of the mortal like he requested. So, like, we're sort of getting that there's been a bit more anyway, because he sort of said dispose of that the way we discussed when he dropped her heart on the floor. Now he's saying, did you take care of the mortal like I requested? So, like, seems like there's more to it than just disposing of the body or something like that. So then Dahlia says she did and pulls out a golden locket. I know. What? And then we get that Dahlia is a soul singer. And she tells him, like, it's in here. All that's left to do is decide who will get her soul and when it shall be released. And he tells her that the soul needs to be reborn to someone who won't balk at Phantasma, but also has a healthy respect for it, and apprehension, because they can't make it too easy on Sailamaestris. So Dahlia suggests a paranormal mortal, so someone with knowledge of the supernatural world, but still a healthy respect for it being mortal. And the king agrees, but he says, now who should we pick? He says not a seer, because they could get an advantage from seeing the future, but he wants someone who will really understand the consequences of the curse and still choose Sailamaestris despite it. So it actually seems like he's setting his son up in a, like, he's really wanting his son to have a partner who loves Sailamaestris enough to choose.
Yes. Do you think it's to be nice or to take something away from him again when they have to give up the key?
I don't know. I don't want it to be sinister. Yeah. How's that?
I assume it is sinister, but I get the optimism.
So Dahlia asks, like, how long does he want Sailamaestris to, like, live in Phantasma for? And he says 5 centuries. Enough time for him to really forget. Like, he doesn't want him to recognize her soul. So he tells Dahlia to make sure whoever she gives the necklace to compel them never to take it off until they pass it to them. So Dahlia tells him there's a necromancer in the dungeon because she tried to make an undead army, and she hates devils and hell. So that would make her a viable candidate. And her name is Hestia Grimm. And the devil thinks... So, yeah. So now that's how we know that the locket has been in Ophelia's family for 500 years, and they've been compelled not to take it off until now it's got to Ophelia. And so, like, here's my thing. Like, did they decide, like, does Ophelia have this girl's, like, does Ophelia have...
Ophelia reincarnated?
Does she have this girl's soul, or is the soul still in the locket?
I think she has the soul.
Okay.
But do we think she had the soul since the beginning, or was it just after her mother died?
Yes, and, like, or was it since birth? Like, because if you're reincarnated, it's from birth. And, like, you would think that...
But the soul is in the locket, so she can't have had it before.
Yeah, because her mom had it the whole time.
But it didn't change her who she is as a person.
But, like, you would think that... Okay, so if you love somebody, you love them, like, mind, body, and soul, right? So, like, the whole soul part of it is you love them for who they are, right? And, like, a soul is, like, who you are. So, like...
Yeah.
You would think that he would love... Like, if they're trying to... Like, if she was a reincarnated version of this girl, you would expect there to be similarity to their personalities.
Yep. But we don't know anything about the girl.
No, but what I'm saying is, you would think that if there are similarities in their personalities, it would be because they share a soul. So, like, she would have had to have it since birth. You know what I mean? Because she hasn't changed as a person since getting the locket. So she would have had to have it since birth.
But do you think that if her mother took the locket off, her heart would stop?
I don't know.
And do you think that if Blackwell took the locket from her mother, he would be free? not to get into, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because she was in there too. So, but it seems like it's not possible until now. It seems like Ophelia is special. But I will say, like, there's a lot of questions about this, but I read a little bit about what the next book is about, and it is about trying to figure out how the locket came into their family.
We know how
so I do think we're going to delve.
We know how the locket came into their family. This is how it came into their family.
We do.
She doesn't. Yes.
We do, but they don't. Yeah. So I do think the next book we're going to get more answers because they are going to get answers.
Yeah, okay. All right.
So that's why, but that's why I think that there's a bunch of stuff that I'm like, why didn't they answer this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, anyway, so that's just my little, like, qualm is, like, I'm not really understanding, like, does Ophelia possess this girl's soul already? Mm-hmm. Like, is she angel reincarnated? Like, there's just a whole bunch of question marks around that part of it.
Yeah, which is why I said that, because I do think that that's going to come up in the next book. Because it is still such a big question of, like, I have no idea.
Anyway, so, I guess to go back, so now the next section is called The End of Phantasma. Yeah. So now we have, like, sort of the answers to a lot of questions as to, like, who Blackwell is, why he's there, and blah, blah, blah. And, like, he is walking around her, and she sort of can't believe that this is how this is ending, that, like, he's been the Prince of Devils the whole time. And he tells her that because she made it to the 9th level, he'll offer to reduce her life years owed to him by half. So she would only owe him 5 and not 10. Because she's like, where's my prize? And he's like, well, this can be your prize. And she's like, what are you talking about? It's a shitty prize. I should get to pick my prize. That's what you get when you win Phantasma. But he's like, technically, you're not the last one to survive. There are other people, 5 other people, that could still come out of level 8. Like, she didn't wait. She just, like, stalked out and headed right to 9 without permission. Yeah, so she's like, she technically didn't win Phantasma, so he's like, this is the best I can give you. And then we get the scene from the prologue, where she tells him he tricked her, and there's, like, a ton of sexual chemistry, and we were sort of like, what is happening? That's what this is for.
Yes. I forgot about that. I'm so glad you remembered.
Like, it totally pulls it back to that scene in the beginning where we're like, oh, yes, and it sort of makes sense now.
Yeah.
And then she asks him about his devil's mark, because each devil has a mark identifying them as a devil. Like, somebody had a tail, somebody had horns, somebody had something else. Like, everybody, Sinclair had the cat eyes. Like, everybody got a little something, something. And she's like, what is yours? Like, how could I mistook you for a phantom? And he said, oh, it's really helpful for the phantom ruse. It's my white hair. I know.
What the fuck?
Like, white hair, that's your devil mark? That's stupid. And, like, she doesn't understand what's happening, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't understand his character right at this moment, because he's not acting as though he loves her.
Yeah, I was very confused. I was like, why is he being such a dick? And is that who he really is?
I don't understand it. Like, did it just take him a few minutes to remember their time together? Like, is he still, like, trying to combobulate, like, the two halves of himself? Like, the one that remembers everything with the one that remembers nothing? Like, that, like, because they have to meld back together, really. So, like, I wonder if it just takes him a minute to, like... But, like, he is not acting as though he loves her. Like, he's not being like, oh my god, I'm so sorry I lied to you, like, or I'm so sorry you didn't know this, or, oh my god, I'm so proud of you. Like, he's not acting like the Blackwell that we know.
No, and he's not like, sorry, I didn't realize that I was...
Yeah, he's not explaining anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he tells her, so again, he knows everything now. Like, this is the moment where he remembers everything. And he tells her about the loophole, and that he needs a heart and a hidden key to be untethered from this place. But the issue is that every time a new game starts, his memories of who he really is are wiped away. And it's only when a contestant reaches level 9 does he remember who he is and his story about, like, the love of his life 500 years ago. So he doesn't remember any of that until somebody comes into level 9. So, like, he had, as Blackwell, he had no idea. And then she realizes that when she met him in the alley, like, heard him, and he said a lock and a key will set me free or whatever, that first night when she was walking home, that was the real him with his memories. So, like, somebody had just won or reached level 9. You know, they just come from a different location, and there's that 48 hours where he knows and remembers who he is. So that was then. And he does say, though, that even now, he barely remembers anything from 5 centuries ago. Like, even still, he doesn't, and, like, even though he said he remembers her, but, like, not really.
Well, it seems like he doesn't even, because she kind of asks him later, like, do you remember your lover? And he's like, he doesn't even give a gender. Like, he doesn't, so it's like,
I don't,
the one thing she asked was for him to remember her, and it seems like she's completely...
Yeah, like, I'll be honest, he doesn't really seem like he's pining. And maybe that's by design, because, like, he's supposed to love her now, so maybe that's why, but, like, he doesn't really seem, like, upset about it or anything at this point.
Yeah. And I guess, like, he's had 48 hours 1,000 times in the past 500 years to get over it, but I don't know.
So she wonders if, like, the rest of the contestants actually play, or is it just Blackwell's chosen? Because, like, he's been picking a person every time to help him. So he's like, is everybody else just, like, shit out of luck and it's only your chosen person that makes it to the end? But he's like, no, everyone is actually playing. But, like, more often than not, it's my person that wins because I'm helping them. So, like, good for her. She, you know, she picked the right person to make a deal with. And she doesn't really understand why Sinclair could tell her about him. But, like, speak about him not as though he's Blackwell. Like, Sinclair said, oh, Salem Maestris is trapped here because of his lover. But couldn't say, Blackwell is Salem Maestris. You know what I mean? He couldn't tell him that. And he just explains that, like, that's part of his punishment. His two entities must remain separate until this point. And that Sinclair's punishment is to stay here with him and keep him here as long as possible. So that's sort of why they aren't friends anymore.
You would think, too, though, and I guess it's the time, but I'm like, wouldn't somebody who won realize that the Phantom is actually wouldn't that get out at some point?
You would think, yeah.
But I guess, it's the same as
all the other trials, like, anyway, so she just tells him she really thought she could save him, and he tells her he thought so too, and calls her Angel. So, like, then we're sort of starting to get him come back to himself and, like, start acting more like Blackwell. And then she asks if any of it was real, and he said, as real as it could be with only half his memories. And, like,
I'm like,
yeah,
what does that
mean? Does that mean you don't actually love her? Like, what? But anyway, she knows she should be furious with him, and I'm like, why? He didn't know. Like, the curse prevents him from having memories. That's the whole point. So, like, why? How could you be mad at him? But he tells her, like, not to waste her emotions on him, and it's best if she leaves and they don't see each other again. And, like, I feel like he's pushing her away for her benefit.
Well, I guess, realistically, like, once this is over, she's gonna leave. Maybe it is best to push her away.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But it was very whiplashy and confusing for me as somebody reading it.
So, like, she realizes that everyone who falls in love in Phantasma is cursed because Salem falling in love has got him banished here. And I'm like, I thought we knew that already. I thought that was established.
Yeah.
And she tells him that she's sorry he lost them. I guess they're just pronouning the lover.
Yeah, because she doesn't know.
And he tells her it was so long ago he barely has any memories left. So, like, again, like, I don't understand what it's like to live 500 years. So maybe it's, you know, he can't help it. But, like, if I literally told somebody I would burn the world to the ground for them, and, like, this was an intense love and passion, you would hope it wouldn't fade.
Well, and it does make you think, like, when he is in Phantasma, he doesn't remember her. So maybe it takes a little while for his memories to, like, fit back into his brain. I don't know. Maybe at this point in time he just doesn't remember. But maybe, I don't know. You know?
So she tells him that, so he says he has no memories left. Not really, not no memories, but barely any memories left from that long ago. And he just says it's just something else time has taken from him, and that he will never forgive his father for that either. So just the fact that, like, time has taken his memories of that person away, and that's even more, like, the fact that he doesn't even have memories of that person anymore is something else he's just mad at his father about. So she tells him that this was all real for her, and she was going to use her devil's grant to untether him. That's what she was going to ask for, which we all could see coming.
Oh, 100%.
And he's, like, shocked, and she just tells him, of course, and she's planning on saying she loves him, but he tells her not to say it because he doesn't want her to get cursed. And I'm like, so saying it out loud is probably what gets you cursed.
Yeah.
But
because that's what happened to... Yeah.
So, like, I just don't understand. Just don't say it out loud. It should not be that hard to not say I love you for 10 days.
Yeah. In another 10 minutes.
So, he's like, no, don't say it. I don't want you to get cursed. But she tells him it doesn't matter if she says it out loud or keeps it quiet because it's still true. And, like, I guess if you don't know whether it's the feeling or the saying that makes the curse happen, like, if you didn't know that, then I can see her logic, right? So, but she says, like, in her heart, so, like, it's still true in her heart, and even her necklace knows that she's completely and utterly ... And I'm like, your necklace knows? Your necklace is an inanimate object, ma'am.
Yeah.
And then she realizes it's all about the locket. So she takes the necklace off and her heart begins to slow down. And that happened once before when, I think, was it Cade pulled it off?
Pulled it off.
And she tells him that the locket is enchanted to beat with her heart. And that he needs a heart and a key. So she's like, what if this is the heart and the key is inside it? And she thinks of her life, of being told to stay away from devils, to always keep the necklace on, her mother warning her to stay away from him, like, it all fits, apparently. So she said, like, no one's ever been able to open the locket, so she gives it to him. And I guess her heart is starting to slow down, so, like, I guess she's starting to die, because she needs a heart. And he tells her she'll die if she gives him this, and even worse, she'll be cursed. And I'm like, you can't die and be cursed. If she's gonna die, she's dead. There's no curse.
Yeah.
It's one or the other.
Yeah.
And so then he puts his hands on her face, so, like, sort of showing some love that was absent at the beginning when he was being weird. And then he adds that if he became free, he would be immune to the curse because he's immortal. So, like, if she admits she loves him, and he admits he loves her back, and she gets cursed, and it breaks his curse, he won't get cursed. So, like, she would... Yeah.
Because he's immortal? Is that... Or
he's
because
immortal.
He's a devil?
So, like, he wouldn't get the Phantasma love curse that she would get. But she's dying, so the curse shouldn't matter. They should focus on...
No, I'm just thinking of later.
We'll get there.
if the reason he doesn't get it is because he's
that
mortal.
is the reason.
Okay.
So, like, he says, even if Phantasma crumbles to the ground, you'll still be cursed. Like, you'll still have the love curse. And she just tells him it's okay. She says she loves him, and he has saved her in so many ways, and changed her. And she will take whatever curse she has to set him free, which is nice. Like, she's choosing the curse. She's choosing to accept it just to help him. And she then starts feeling this, like, intense pain, and it brings her to her knees. And she knows that loving Blackwell won't end well for her. It's what her mom said. But he would walk away unscathed, and, like, I guess that's enough. The fact that she's saving him. So the locket glows blue in his hand and lifts into the air and opens, and light bursts out everywhere, and magic flows into his body, and his full powers return, and he's finally free from Phantasma. And I'm like, I thought the angel's soul was in that locket, but now it's not. It's his powers are in there. Like, I'm so confused.
Well, yeah, I thought that the whole point was that it was the heart, because that's what she's losing. But I'm like, where does the key come in?
It's just this bit. I understand why the author went in this route, but I don't think it was planned out.
Yeah.
Because it just makes no sense. Like, the wrong breadcrumbs were laid, and the wrong explanation.
Yeah, I feel like there could have been more writing to this part to explain
the
locket.
Yeah. Anyway.
Even if it was like the heart is the key, but he heard the heart and the key or something.
But, like, if her heart is in the locket, and the soul is in the locket, and his power is in the locket, like, it's just too much stuff in one little locket. Anyway, so the curse, like, the pain she's feeling, she's assuming is the Phantasma love curse. And it's racking pain through her body again, and she's starting to die. And I'm like, so she's cursed and she's dying? It's just a bit too much for me.
Yeah. I was like,
no,
what?
it's totally confusing. So he tells her, so he has his full powers now, that he can give her a working heart as payment for freeing him if she agrees to it, which she does. And so her heart starts beating again. So, like, she has...
So she's still gonna lose 10
well,
years.
I don't know, the 10 years thing.
It doesn't matter.
So, like, she does, her heart is starting to beat again, so at least she's got that going for her.
Yeah. But, like, where did you get the heart? You can't just give someone a new heart. Did someone just die on the street because he took their heart? What kind of heart is it? Someone her exact build and size?
Could be a pig heart.
And age? Pig heart.
Pigs' hearts are amazingly similar to human hearts. Just saying. So the pain in her body doesn't stop. And he tells her that the only way he can override a curse of his father's is to offer her a deal. So, like, she's still got the love curse from Phantasma, which is one of his dad's curses.
Yeah.
So, like...
But she's not dying anymore.
So he's like, I can offer you a deal. And he says, if you hand over your soul, so if she signs away her soul, he can eradicate the curse from it. And then he says, I promise I'll give you your soul back after. And, like, she loves him, is offering to die for him. But she's like, oh no, I can't. Like, she doesn't trust him to give her back her soul after. And I'm like, girl, what? You say, yes, please, thank you.
And then they just
blow
past
this is the thing. It's so unorganized. I don't get it. And she's like, I can't take that chance. Can you please do something else? After he said, the only way I can override a curse from my father is to offer you a deal. And she's like, no, try something different.
Well, she's just like, I'll live with the curse. And I'm like, that means you won't be able to be together. Yeah. That's what the curse is.
But then he says, okay, well, if I break... So, like, literally 2 seconds ago, the only way I could break a curse is to offer you a deal. And she's like, no. And he's like, well, okay, I can try something else. So it's like, well, so not the only way you can break a curse. Like, obviously you have understood the words wrong. So he says in order to break a curse like this, he would need a new permanent tether to get the amount of energy needed. So right away, this is something we don't understand. We have not had a lesson in tethers or energy transfer or anything like that. No. So immediately, this is out of the realm of things that we understand. And Phantasma was his tether. But because she broke him free of it, now Phantasma is falling apart. And also, without a tether, he can't stay in the mortal world. He has to bargain to stay here. So, like, she's still in so much pain. She offers to be his new tether. And he's like, are you sure it would mean forever with me? And I'm just like, wasn't that the idea? Like,
But then he's like, immediately after, like, it doesn't have to be with me, though. I'm like, what is happening?
It's all over the place. It's all over the place. Like, I'm happy with the outcome, but I feel like it was a huge runaround to make it so that they both live forever together. Like, it could have been so much more straightforward. And, like, it was just, this ending, it was so messy.
Yeah, we didn't need, there was a few things we didn't really need to happen.
Like, if you're gonna make it like, that her heart is slowing down and she's dying, do that. We don't need that plus the curse.
Well, and also, you don't need to say, hey, I can, if you give me your soul, I can heal it. If you're not gonna do it.
Yes,
just
go to the next thing.
Like, have the tether be the first option.
Or like, because, and don't say, the only thing I can do is this, if there's something else you can do immediately after. You know what I mean? Like, I could see maybe saying, well, the only thing I can do is this, and her being like, no, and him being like, okay, well, let's do some research, and, like, finding a different solution later on. But, like, the fact that he says immediately, like, okay, the only thing I can do is offer you a deal, and her saying no, and then him be like, well, actually, there's something else I can do immediately. You know what I mean? It's just not, it's not authentic.
I did wonder, and I still wonder, like, because he was like, okay, now I'm this tethery thing, is she still cursed?
No, because he's saying he could break the curse if he had a new tether.
But we don't even know what the curse is.
It's just her being in pain, being close to him. I think so.
Is it? Because that was what, like, Lucy's curse was if he touched her, but, like, her parents' curse
I think it's
like,
unique to the individual.
Yeah, but this seems too close to Lucy's curse. I was just like, I was confused because I didn't even think that...
Lucy's curse was that when the love of her life tried to touch her, he got blisters on his hands. So she wasn't in pain at all.
Oh, okay, Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like...
It just feels too many ideas plopped into one scenario.
Yeah. And honestly, I finished the book and I didn't know if she was cursed or not, or what the curse was.
I actually read through it twice to try and figure things out.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she offers to be his new tether. He tells her it would mean forever, like, with him. And while her soul would be hers, her energy and lifespan would not. In other words, if he lives for eternity, so would she. And I'm like, well, that's fucking convenient. Obviously I do, because I don't want to be in I hate to see, like, people in, like, such an extreme form of love. I would hate to see one live forever and one die after, like, 50 years together. I don't like that.
Of course.
But, like, of course it's convenient. And I do think that it's fair of him to, like, be like, are you sure this is what you want? Because, like, Genevieve's gonna die. Like, I can imagine it will be hard on Ophelia to watch her sister get older and age and die. So, like, it is something to consider. But it is really just Genevieve, and then after that, it's like, I don't know anybody.
Yeah, it also doesn't seem like she thinks
No,
about Genevieve
she doesn't,
at all.
though.
She doesn't have any qualms about this. She's just like, you, me,
Yeah,
forever?
She is, yeah.
Sign me up.
They've known each other for 9 days. No, 10 days?
Yeah.
No, 9 days. Because it's not night 10 yet. Still night 9. Because she finished trial 8 and just went right in.
Because she went too early.
Anyway, so it's fucking convenient. So she agrees, and he tells her he is so fucking in love with her, and he would trade every other soul in the world if it meant he could keep her forever. And I'm like, again, fucking Kim. And he tells her that, but then he's like, you don't have to be my tether. He's like, if I go away right now, like, the curse only affects me being around you. So, like, I could break he's essentially saying he could break her curse by her becoming his tether, sharing her life force and energy with him. He could break her curse. But he's also saying, you would then live forever we would live forever because we would share a lifespan. However, I could always just go away from you. And that would, you wouldn't be in pain anymore. And he's like, we don't have to be together. Like, I could just leave you alone.
He'd go back to his father. Do you think that if she killed herself in, 500 years, he'd just get sent back to his father? Or would he die? Because she's just a tether like Phantasma was. He'd get sent back to whatever.
But I think if they're sharing a lifespan and she is immortal, I would think she wouldn't be able to kill herself. Well, I mean,
at all? Is there no way to kill devils
not
at all?
That we've seen in this book.
No, but nobody's tried
right.
either.
But
I think she should be thinking about this more. Is there absolutely no way to die? Because don't sign me up.
I know. Can you imagine being stuck with and no. I'm saying this as a happily married person, but can you imagine being stuck with someone for eons?
Girl, I can't imagine being stuck with myself for that long.
You would have to take. But
that is my real
sort of,
issue.
It makes you sort of when you read all this vampire fiction and these people are family, but yet they spend 100 years apart, and it's I get it.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
So, sorry. So, he says, I could just walk away. You don't have to make this decision to be my tether and for us to be together for all time. I could just walk away, and you won't be in pain anymore. Because now you have a new heart, you're not going to die. So, he asks her what her decision is, and we don't get an answer. We get, you have to turn the page, and it's an epilogue.
Yes.
So, Ophelia is walking through New Orleans. Obviously, she's alive and well.
But she would have been alive anyway. So we still don't know what she chose.
Yeah.
But what if she... I don't know. So confused.
So, Phantasma crumbled to the ground and vanished. And there's been talk the past couple of weeks that devils are no longer roaming the city, hunting to make deals. And, the city feels lighter. And Ophelia has also been more comfortable roaming around after dark. So she walks home and she's feeling happy. Her and Genevieve are working on their issues and are closer than ever. So, nice happy ending for the shadow voice tells her, that her sister is going to hate her surprise, but Ophelia ignores it, and that she's been finding it easier and easier to ignore that voice. So she goes into the house yelling that, I have a surprise for you, aka Genevieve. And then she, sort of talks to herself / to the reader that they've been cleaning and decluttering the house, finally getting rid of their mother's things. They're sort of starting to purge their mother from the house and heal over their mother's. Ophelia is going to decide what aspects of her mother's practice so it's sort of insinuating that she is moving on. She's not necessarily picking up her mother's mantle exactly as she had it and sort of becoming her own necromancer.
Person.
She is thinking about some form of help for fellow paranormal beings like Lucy. So, we still don't have confirmation what Lucy is. I'm thinking some form of witch because she had, some sort of, balm on her.
Yeah.
But we don't have confirmation of that. And also Genevieve. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What issue does Genevieve have? That she needs help with it?
She's a specter.
Yeah, but what help did... Anyway.
I don't know.
So she doesn't feel guilt anymore for not exactly, like, following exactly in her mother's footsteps. So she goes into the living room and she hears someone walk up behind her. And it's Salem, which is what we're calling him now.
And I'm like, is it because everyone forgot Blackwell? Because he got
Possibly.
the key in the heart. So has everyone now forgot Blackwell, including his dad? Which is interesting, because, like, if you fell in love with somebody calling them Blackwell, do you think you could just be like, now you're a different name and kind of a different person because you're two halves of a whole now? And, like, I need half of the book to be them figuring out if they still like each other.
So we're calling him Salem now. Blackwell is gone.
Yes.
The cat is also there, Poe. So apparently across the 500 years, he's grown more attached to Salem in Phantasma. So we decided not to go back to the king, which I'm great. They have a pet. They have a pet cat.
Adorable. I was happy about that.
So he tells her that distracting her sister wasn't easy, and then he grabs her and kisses her throat. And she asks if he had any luck with the locket, but he says no. They've been trying to figure out how her family ended up with the key to Salem's salvation. So again, like, just ask your dad. Drugs. Some are good and some are bad. Drugs. Ask your mom or ask your dad. Sorry. It's a PSA from the 90s when I was a kid. So just when I said, dude, ask your dad, just reminded me of that. So, like, she's actually still wearing the locket, but she doesn't feel, like, heartbeat. There's no warming to it anymore. He asked if there were any issues picking up the tickets, and she said no. And then thanks him for arranging everything. And then he asks her, what's the point of having full use of his powers if it isn't to spoil her? And then lists off that he convinced the bank she paid off the house. So, fraud, yep.
Fraud.
Has bought extravagant vacations and all the pretty things. So, essentially, he's just using his powers to steal things. Yeah. Yes. And she asks, does spoil mean send her sister away so they can have the house to themselves? But he's like, we're joining her a few weeks later. And then he says he needs every second of those few weeks to do everything he's planned on with her on every surface of the house. And
your mom used to live here. And
I'm more
died
thinking,
here,
like,
and your sister still lives here.
Like, dude, like, I just worry that, like, you're gonna get hungry, you're gonna get tired, like, every single second.
I think that's an exaggeration.
But then he says, actually, I'm gonna need every second of eternity.
Well, they fucking have it.
Like, can you just imagine fucking for every second of eternity? I would be so tired.
Yes. Yes, you would.
Anyway, so they start to kiss, but then Genevieve interrupts them and suggests they go to a room with a locking door. I feel like she's getting sick of this already.
Yeah, I'm sure the next book is going to be like, ugh, I'm so sick of them. Yeah. They love each other so much.
They give her the envelope, so I guess this is a surprise for her. And it's tickets. So we don't know where the tickets are for, but spoiler alert, this next book is set in Italy, so I'm assuming Italy.
It's Italy.
And, like, she's super excited. She runs to her room to figure out what to pack in her trunk, leaving them alone again. And then they start to go back to what they were doing before, and they move to the couch. And I'm like, there is another person still present. Like, yes, she went up to see what to pack, but, like, she took them out. And they're just in the living room. So he kisses her shoulders and arms, and he actually goes over to the 9 gold star marks that she has from Phantasma, so they're permanent. And tells him he's incorrigible, and calls him a devil, and he calls her an angel, and they kiss again. And I'm like, there was no talk about the reincarnated soul. And I'm like, doesn't he feel bad that he's moved on and calls her the same nickname? Like, wouldn't he feel bad about that?
But I like, does he even remember that her name was Angel?
Is he aware she is the reincarnated soul of his love? Like, I just feel like there were so many things not answered. And I can't imagine we'll get the answers if the next book is essentially a similar... So, like, I'm pretty sure the next book, the back of the book, like, just the... For the love of God. Like, the synopsis that you get on the back of the book. It's not spoiling anything. Okay? So, It says, ready or not, the game has begun. Genevieve Grimm has felt adrift ever since her sister became head of the family. So when a mysterious friend of their mother's invites her to Italy, she accepts. She arrives at his grand palace expecting passion and magic, decadence and luxury, perhaps even a midnight ball. She doesn't expect the owner's ruthlessly handsome son to slam the door in her face. Rowan Silver is tall, dark, and exceptionally rude, and invitation or not, he demands Genevieve leave and never come back. But Genevieve follows nobody's orders, especially those of arrogant rich boys. She slips inside and immediately discovers her mistake. Rowan and his family are caught in an insidious game of hide-and-seek, where only one can win. The rest will be trapped in hell until the competition begins again. Genevieve must either join the hunt or forfeit any hope of escaping. But to her dismay, her best chance of survival lies with Rowan. Since lovers may play as a pair, Rowan and Genevieve agree to form an alliance under the guise of a fake courtship. However, as they race through the game's elaborate labyrinth, trapped among gleaming gold and shining marble, their loathing gives way to irresistible attraction. Only Rowan is keeping secrets, especially when it comes to his ruthless family, and Genevieve can't help but wonder if she's trapped in two treacherous games, Enchantra and the one Rowan is playing with her heart. So, like, I don't understand how we're going to get any answers about Ophelia and the locket and the soul and everything like that when that's the plot synopsis of the next book.
Yeah, it's really funny. It seems identical. Because, like, I read... Yeah. But I read the audio... Like, I was listening to the audiobook, and at the end of the audiobook, it says... Listen to a sneak peek of the next chapter, of the first chapter, which I didn't listen to, but it said that Genevieve is going to Italy to try to figure out where the locket came from.
Well, I guess it...
Like, it says that that's what they're doing. Weird. So, like, I think we are going to get answers. I think it is going to, like, come back to that. But it almost sounds like it's making it so that Enchantra can be like a standalone book of her own kind of game. But I do think that
we'll hopefully get answers from Phantasma.
I do think so, because it does seem like that's what I got from the audiobook, was that the whole point of Italy is to get answers for Ophelia and the necklace. But it's just so weird that that's not even part of...
Nope. Yeah.
Weird. So yeah.
Anyway, I did go out and buy Enchantra anyway. I do want to read it and see if maybe there are any answers in it. And I am excited to read more about Genevieve because, like, we didn't really get anything really by her. So, like...
No.
You know, I am excited, but also kind of like... Like, I don't want the conclusion to be a mess like that again. Because that was a mess. Like, full disclosure, that ending was a mess.
Yeah, there's definitely, could have used a bit more
editing. That's definitely the consensus that I was getting when I was reading through reviews and, like, Facebook posts about people, like, asking for recommendations or asking for reviews on this book. A lot of it was, the ending was a complete and utter disaster and people didn't really understand it. So, I definitely think the ending, as much as I'm happy that they're together and she's immortal and, like, they figured it out, that...
Yeah, it could have been streamlined.
One or two less ideas.
I do think it's more of an editing. Yeah, I do think it is 100% an editing thing, and I do think, like, we talked about it when we first started reading the book. She's put a lot of books out in a very short amount of time, and I assume that she's more of an indie author. So I do wonder if this is another case of, like, if it does get, like, I don't know who published it. And I don't know if she did it independently or not, but I do wonder if, like, there will be edits in the future, or just the next book will be edited better because of how popular this book was. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing that I thought about Quicksilver. Like, I feel like Quicksilver needed a tiny bit more editing in a few places, but I do think that the second book in that series is going to be edited way better because of how popular the first book is. So I do kind of think the same thing will happen here.
So I think the Hatchet book group is, I don't know if that's the name of an editor, but just looking, so there was a Reddit thread, and somebody did say that she deserves a better editor, on, like, she needs a better editor on her team.
Yeah.
So and, like, I would agree.
Yeah, and I like I said, I really do hope that the next one is just edited better because of the popularity. Like, it's still a really popular book. And I did really enjoy it.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, we liked it, but we're hoping that she does get a better editor or editing team for her future books, because, that ending was just a little bit confusing. Too many
plans. Yeah.
So, I guess we're going to wrap it up for this week. So if you want to get in touch with us and share your thoughts on anything you heard in our episode, or if you have any book suggestions for us, please reach out to us by email at coffeeandcoread.com, or you can check us out on Instagram or Facebook at Coffee and Co-Read, and coffee.coread on TikTok.
So next week we're going to be reading a new book.
Which we've already... Yes.
Some sarcastic drum rolling from us.
That nobody knows.
If you skipped the intro, it might be a surprise. But it is The Songbird and the Heart of Stone by Carissa Broadbent, and we're doing chapters 1 to 9. So make sure to follow along, and if you're enjoying our chats and books and all of that shit, please follow, rate, and review wherever you get our content. Thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll see you on the next page.